Hello, it's Nikki. Welcome to another character quest video. So today's video is about Yae Miko, the clever fox lady. I've had interesting experience with her thus far, so I'm actually really anticipating getting to know her a little bit because she is very coy and very hard to read sometimes. Table of contents. First up is the story, demos and trailers, lore and voice lines, theories, and then at the very end we have our staple character log where I talk about my personal opinions on the characters, their relationships, their arcs, where I think they're going, if they have any maybe secrets that might come to light later in the story, but I hope you enjoy.
こうして見ると本当にこのおまじないについて話してる人がたくさんいるな。あれ、あの二人って確か八重堂の編集と作家じゃないか？
Okay.
輝きたまい。
I figured we might be
授けたまえ。我の
coming to the publishing house.
我の願いを聞きたまえ。
What?
違う違う。我の願いを聞きたまえじゃなくて、我が願いに応えたまえだ。ああ、もういつになったら覚えるんだ。
お前ら何やってるんだ？
うわ、びっくりした。ああ、もう
Dang,
また呪文が飛んじゃったよ。
呪文？お、もしかしてお前らも最近流行ってるおまじないを試してるのか？
What?
正確に言うと試してるのは純吉だけだ。ここ最近純吉は創作活動に行き詰まっててね。もちろん僕は信じてないが、純吉は昔から人の話を聞かなくてね。
しげるさん、頼むからもう少し協力的になってくれ。綺麗になりたい人、お金持ちになりたい人、学業でいい成績を収めたい人、このおまじないでいろんな人が自分の願いを叶えてる。それに今回はきっとうまくいくと僕の直感がそう言ってるんだ。
Okay.
でもこの間も鳴上大社へおみくじを引きに行った時、新たな発想がすぐにでも舞い降りてきそうだ、僕の直感がそう告げているとか同じようなこと言ってたけど、
My guy.
神社のご利益は現れるまでに時間がかかるんだよ。そんなこと今はどうでもいいから呪文を覚えるのを手伝ってくれ。
正直今の君に必要なのは一度冷静になって自分が何を書きたいのか考え直すことだと思うよ。それが今やどうだ。出どころ不明の娯楽小説に書いてあったおまじないを信じるなんて。
そのおまじないって娯楽小説に書いてあったものなのか？
ああ、神聖探霊筆記っていう娯楽小説に載ってたんだよ。
Well, that's pretty straightforward.
いや、この本は自費出版されたものだ。いきなり現れたかと思うと、今や稲妻に旋風を巻き起こしてる。同じ作家として物語自体の評価には触れないけど、その中に書いてあったおまじないは本物だと誰もが言ってるんだ。
純吉、確かにみんなこのおまじないには効果があると言ってるが、僕は他にもいろんな噂を聞いたぞ。この方法で願い事を叶えた人は言動がおかしくなるとかなんとか。
そんなのきっとあまりの出来事に感極まって発狂しただけだろ。
話を聞いた感じなんだか怪しいな。鳴上大社に行ってミコにこのことを聞いてみないか？
Yes,
娯楽
let's.
小説や怪談話ならきっとミコの方が詳しいだろうし。
I wonder if it's a real thing. So this is my first like official like quest where I have Ito out after his banner. So I'm gonna try and not be excited about that the whole time.
ミコ、よかった。神社にいたんだな。
おや、わっぱではないか。ちょうど良いところに来た。わらわのところに面白い小説があってな。何時らも読んでみぬか？
Let's see if she knows about this summoning book.
わらわに聞き
She
たいこと
probably
か。
does, right?
なんじゃ？
実はさっきってあれ、ミコ、今忙しいのか？
別に大したことではない。
Okay.
八重宮司様、 大したことないだなんて。お願いします。どうか私の兄をお助けください。
まあ本当に大したことではないのじゃが、ナンジラが気になるというのならこやつにもう一度説明させよう。
お二方は宮司様と交友のある方とお見受けします。どうか宮司様に私の兄を救っていただくよう。
Well, what's happened?
申し遅れました。私は加藤洋平というものです。私の兄慎吾は剣術家を志しており、しかし剣の道には向いていないと土門さんに言われ、兄は見向きもされませんでした。そのことがよほど悔しかったのでしょう。それからというもの兄は鍛錬を重ね、ただそれ以降兄はまるで人が変わったかのように様子がおかしくなりました。医者にも見てもらいましたが原因は分からず、まさか邪気に取りつかれたのではないかと思い。
邪気などそうめったにあるものではない。汝の兄はかねてより抱いていた目的を果たしたことで心が空っぽになったのじゃろう。
Wow, way to be
それも人の差というも
dismissive.
のじゃ。
Damn, girl, what the hell?
わらわの見立てではそのまま何日か放っておけば勝手に治るはずじゃ。
いえ宮司様、それは違います。その目で直接見ていただければきっとわかるはずです。
はあ、わかったわかった。では聞くが、汝の兄はいつ土門の弟子と勝負したんじゃ？
確か5日ほど前です。
5日前か。
ですので兄がおかしくなってからもうだいぶ日が経っています。私は心配で心配で。私と兄の最大の願いはいつか土門さんのような立派な流派を作ることです。
まあ待て、汝は兄を助けたいのか、それとも夢を叶えて流派を作りたいのか、どっちなんじゃ？
Okay.
それは同じことだ。
Bro,
最近
really?
何かおかしな噂を聞いたことはないか？もし心当たりがあったらわらわに話してみよう。
噂を聞いていません。
そうか、それは残念じゃな。
宮司様、話をすり替えようとするのはおやめください。兄の命に関わることなんです。
ミコ、この人声が震えてるし、お兄さんの方も深刻そうだぞ。手伝ってやれよ。
はあ、そうじゃな。
ミコ、手伝ってやるんだな。
その加藤なんとか兵とやら、実はこの2人の客人はわらわと旧知の中でな、こういったことを解決する専門家なんじゃ。邪を払うなどお手の物じゃぞ。
She's gonna give. This is gonna be our problem. Exactly.
本当ですか？
なんじゃその疑うような言い方は。助けを求められたからふさわしい人物を紹介してやったと
That
いうの
requires
に、
the other party giving
よ
their
もや信
consent to
用で
help.
きぬとでも言うのか？
いえ、信じます。宮司様がそうおっしゃるのでしたらもちろん信じますとも。お二方とも感謝いたします。
Not to like
私についてきて
compare
ください。
shit, but at least Ayato came with us. He didn't shuck off the problems to me.
じゃを払うなんてことをおいらたちにできるわけないだろう。
問題はない。邪を払うなぞ。塩を一つまみしてから適当に何か唱え、
How
それを
thorough.
一息に巻けばいいだけじゃ。
How well thought out. How
娯楽小
careful.
説でもよくあるじゃろ。大事なのは勢いじゃと。物語の主人公がそう言えば大抵の問題は解決する。じゃがあの者のことを心配しておるのは何時らじゃろ。それをわらわに押し付けようとするのは
But we're
いかが
doing
な
all
も
of the
のか
work.
な。
You're doing none
そ
of
れ
it.
に汝らが鳴神大社を訪れたのはわらわに聞きたいことがあったからだったはず。
いやー、なんだか釈然としないけど。
さあさあ早く行くんじゃ。それに心配はいらぬ。
Okay, fine. I retract what I said. At least she's coming. I thought she was just gonna send us on an errand.
傭
Okay,
兵のお
okay,
兄さんの
okay.
ところに行って
Take
み
it
よう。
back. She might have an attitude, but at least she's coming.
どうしたんだろうな。 ミコが何を考えてるのかわからないけど、なんか傭兵のことに興味なさそうだ。おまじないのことを聞くのは後にしよう。まずは人助けだ。それが終わってからまた聞いてみようぜ。
Okay. Will do.
これはどういうことでしょう。兄は数日前からこの辺りでよく瞑想するようになったのですが、
Uh-oh.
今日は姿が見当たりません。
Okay, well, he's probably not dead, you know? He's probably just... They said that they act strangely, the people who wish. I'm assuming that's what he did.
ドモンの弟子に勝った後、いきなりそのような日課ができたのです。よく一人でここに座り、独り言をつぶやいていました。今はそんなことを言っている場合ではありませんでした。あのような状態だというのに。
ふむ、それは確かに問題じゃな。もし汝の兄が見つからなければ邪を払うこともできぬ。加藤なんとか兵よ、こうなっては仕方あるまい。まずは汝の兄を見つけてくるのじゃ。ついでに邪気払いに使用する塩も用意してくれ。
わかりました。すぐに行ってまいります。
ミコ、オイラたちはどうすればいいんだ。
構わぬ。この時間を
Dang,
利用して
she's like purposefully
共に
not
辺りを散策
remembering his
してみ
name
る
at
のも
this
良いじゃ
point.
ろ。
Dang, the disrespect. I mean, he doesn't seem like a super stand-up guy. He seems to have a couple motivations to find his brother, but damn.
こんにちは。オイラたち加藤兄弟のことについて聞きたいんだけど、何か知らないか。
借金の取り立てですか。それでしたら傭兵が弟子を取ったらすぐに返せると言っていましたが。
借金の取り立て。いやいや、誤解だ。でも弟子を取ったらってことは、オイラた
Apparently.
ちの知ってる傭兵とシンゴのことっぽいな。
細々。ああ、そうなるのも当然のことかと。あの兄弟は何をするにもやる気がなく、いつも好き勝手していましたので。
Hmm.
でも傭兵はお兄さんが剣術家になりたくてドモンのところに弟子入りしたって言ってたけど。
ええ、確かにそんなこともありました。慎吾があまりにもしつこいからドモンが一度弟子入りを受け入れたんです。しかしそんなすごい死を持ったにもかかわらず、慎吾は毎日怠け鍛錬をおろそかにしていました。それを見かねたドモンは慎吾を破門にしたのです。ただ慎吾はドモンに見る目がないと逆恨みし、彼の弟子と勝負をするなどと言い出しました。
なんでそんなことを。
実に面白い。その当事者である弟は、悔しい思いをした兄は鍛錬を重ね、ドモンの愛弟子との試合に勝利し、その腕を証明した。
傭兵がそう言ったのですか。鍛錬を重ねるなど全くもって嘘です。毎日ゴロゴロと横になり、ただ愚痴をこぼすのが鍛錬だとでも言うのでしょうか。しかし傭兵は確かに慎吾が試合に勝ったと言っていたような気もします。
Then he was a liar.
私はそれを真に受けなかった
Not
の
this
で
guy, the
真偽は定かではありませんが。
brother who we spoke to. Alright, well, maybe Miko's disrespect is not unwarranted. Well, she was disrespectful before she knew the truth, so, you know. You know. Also, I have Goro on my team now. Ah! Because I looked it up, and apparently he's a good Ito support, which is just perfect. Because I love both of them.
こんにちは。加藤兄弟について何か知らないか。
ああ、慎吾と傭兵のことだな。
そうそう。そのシンゴがこの前ドモンの愛弟子を倒したって聞いたんだけど、それって本当なのか。
本当だよ。彼らは自分たちの門派を作ろうとしてるんだ。まさか君たち、
No.
それに入門するために来たのか
We
い？
aren't.
そういうわけじゃないんだけど、その勝負について詳しく知りたいんだ。
ああ、それなら俺が適任だ。俺はあの勝負をこの目で見ていたからな。最初、明鏡止水流に挑むなんて聞いたときは冗談かと思ったよ。 だが慎吾が刀を抜いた瞬間、まるで人が変わったかのようだった。あの剣はまるで流れる水のように滑らかで、それでありながら豪快だった。土門の弟子も決して弱くはなかったんだが、全く歯が立たない様子でな。
慎吾ってそんなに強いのか？
ああ、試合に勝った後、素晴らしい剣術だ、こんなに清々しいのは久しぶりだと大声で言っていたな。
他には何かないか？慎吾の性格が昔と比べ大きく変わったと聞いたが。
前よりも勤勉になったかな。昔は一日中横になって日向ぼっこしてたのに、それに昨日村長のために木の伐採を手伝っているのを見た。3人がかりで終わらないような仕事をあいつは半日で終わらせてたよ。
What?
ほう、それはすごい。
だがこの間妙なことがあったんだ。村長が豆腐を差し入れに持ってきたところ、なんだそれ、俺に近づけるなとか。
宮司様、それにお二方ともここにいたんですね。兄を見つけました。滝の方にいます。塩も手に入れましたのでついてきてください。
もっと面白い話を聞きたかったのじゃが、見つかったのなら行くとするか。
The only other character who doesn't like tofu is our baby, Nito. And he doesn't like tofu because it's made of beans. And he doesn't like beans because he's an Oni. But I feel like I feel like I'm connecting the dots like to the max. Like the guy we're speaking to is human, so his brother isn't an Oni, right? Unless brother is more of a like affectionate term rather than like a biological, you know, statement that they're like related. Or maybe he's just doesn't like tofu. I don't know.
あれが傭兵のお兄さんか？おお、滝に打たれながら瞑想するなんてすごくワイルドだな。
Okay.
なんかブツブツ言ってるぞ。
寒い、もう無理だ、ダメだ、助けてくれ。
どうだ、感じたか？
What?
さあ、感じるんだ、この男らしい気迫を。
Manliness.
門派を設立するだと？実に浅はかなり、男たるものそのような志を持つなど馬鹿げている。
What?
もう勘弁してください、お願いします。気迫も何ももう温度すら感じ
Okay,
ませ
so
ん。
he must be possessed or
もう
something.
ダメです。このままでは死んでしまいます。傭兵、助けて。
She knows what's going on for sure.
おい、聞いたか？よくわからないけど助けを求めてるぞ。
うん？何やつ？
Hmm.
立ち上がった。こっちに来たぞ。
来るな。助けてください。
どうするんだよ、ミコ。早く何か方法を。
Well, we have an Oni on standby and a general. I think we'll be okay. And a cavalry captain. And a ship
汝
captain.
の兄はもう虫
So
の
if we need to fight anybody, I
最後
think
の
we're
力を振
good.
り絞って汝に助けを求めておる。どうしたものかの？
そんなの私にはどうしたらいいのか見当もつきません。
わらわの目には、慎吾は汝に大きな恨みを抱いておるよう見えるが、これは一体どういうことじゃ？
知りません。私は何も知りません。
知らぬじゃと？汝の兄がどうしてあのようになったのか、汝は誰よりも知っておるのではないか？傭兵、よう考えて話すことじゃ。これは生死に関わることじゃぞ。
それは
最も身近なものの様子がかようにおかしくなれば、汝が真っ先に気づくはずじゃ。じゃがわらわに助けを求めに来たのは、ことが起きて5日も経った後。 これでもまだ何か隠し通せるとでも？
私は
Yeah, she has a point.
そうか。本当のことを口にしたくないのならそれでも構わぬ。じゃが慎吾が死した後は汝の番じゃぞ。たとえ地の果てまで逃げようともあやつは汝の背後につきまとうじゃろう。なぜならあれは汝らが呼び出したものなのじゃからな。
Summon it. Huh. So
話します。何でも言います。
okay.
私と兄はまじないで願い事をしたんです。ある願い。そうです。最近巷で流行っているそれです。真夜中に呪文を唱えれば願いが叶うという。私と兄は本に書いてあった通り陣を書き、真夜中に裸足でその中に立ちました。そして呪文を唱えると陣の周りが光り出したのです。兄は剣術家になることを願い、これまでなかった剣の才能を手に入れました。しかし同時に性格まで変
Yeah,
わっ
why
てし
didn't
ま
you
った
get
のです。
help right away?
それは兄が
What an asshole!
また剣の才能がなくなるのではと思ったか
What
ら
an
です。
ass!
しかしそれでは我々の流派を立ち上げるという計画が頓挫してしまいます。そうなれば私たちは一生
Okay, I
貧しいま
understand
まで
that
す。
you're struggling, but this is not the way
な
to
んで
go about
丸
it.
亀大社に行ったんだ？
兄があのような状態では何か触れてはならぬ禁術を使ったのではと噂が広まることでしょう。
Dang, he didn't even want to help his brother?
誰も弟子入りには来ません。
Bro. Bro.
でも宮司様であれば剣の才を残したまま兄を元に戻すことができるのではと。
たわけがそれで丸く収まるとでも思うたか。
Yeah, do
そ
you have
んな
no
ものは
shame,
愚
my
かな妄
guy?
想に過ぎぬ。あやつが見せた剣の才はあ
Oh,
やつ自身のもので
okay.
はなく、
はい申し訳ございませんでした。
もうよい。さてここからは汝の出番じゃ。わっぱよ、塩を巻いて剣を抜くがよい。
Hmm.
なんだよあれ。
Oh,
化け物化け
dang.
物だ。
It's a big
よく
boy.
見るんじゃ。あれこそが汝らのおびき寄せたもの。慎吾の意識はもうないぞ。
お助けをお助け。
気絶したぞ。
どうもせぬ。
She's like, yeah, leave
や
him
つと
there.
戦ってくるんじゃ。
He'll be fine.
貴様も武に秀でたものか。いざ尋常に勝負せん。
来たぞ。気をつけろ。
Okay. Well, we have an Oni.
行くぞ。
これ
強行やそりゃ器用の通りだ。そりゃよ
I'm still learning how to use him, so
お前の出番だぜ。
I want to get really good at it. Oops, sorry, baby. I want to get really good at it, like his combos and stuff, because he's my main. But I got him literally like days ago.
そりゃ
He's not even level 90 yet. Ah! Okay. I love this Oni mask behind him. It's so cool. Arakawa Koji.
実に素晴らしい。
Wait. I recognize that
こんなに
name.
も痛快なのは
Do I recognize that
久方ぶ
name?
りであった。
消えた。
Arakawa Koji.
なんか満足したみたい
Maybe I
だった
don't.
な。
I swear to God I've heard that name before though.
おいらも
The
う
Oni
訳が
mask is
わ
still
から
there
な
in
いぞ
the dialogue cutscene.
何が起きたのかお前は分かったか？
この件については後で話そう。ほれ、こやつらも目が覚めたようじゃ。
どうして俺はここに。傭兵か。
兄さん、もう大丈夫なのか。
傭兵、なんだか俺は夢を見ていたような気がする。夢の中で俺は剣術が上達していて、あの土門の弟子にも勝ったんだ。これでやっと道場が開けると思った矢先、体が思うように動かなくなった。それから誰かが耳元でずっと語りかけてきたんだ。自分の体を取り戻そうにも何もできず、恐怖で胸が締め付けられた。あの声は、そう、確か男の気迫がどうとか言っていた気がする。
Huh.
兄さん、やっぱり願い事を叶えるためにまじないなんかするべきじゃなかったんだ。あれのせいで化け物をおびき寄せ、兄さんは体を乗っ取られたんだから。
その通りじゃ。わらわたちが手を貸していなければ、汝は命を失っておったじゃろう。そして今度は汝の弟に取り付き、同じように衰弱させ、いずれ死んでおったはずじゃ。
Hmm.
宮司様、本当にありがとうございました。お二方にも何とお礼を申せば。
もうよい。兄を連れ帰り休ませてやれ。何日も取りつかれておったんじゃ。衰弱しきっておる。
Like the Oni
これ
mask
か
is
ら
like
高
staring
熱
over
が
our
出るじゃろう
shoulder.
が命に支障はない。いいか、これは代価じゃ。
Hmm.
よこしまな方法で自らに属さぬ力を手に入れようとすれば、どのような結末が待っておるか、もう説明しなくてもよいな。
はい、承知しております。もうこのようなことは二度としません。
ありがとうございました、宮司様。では
He
先
called
に
us
失礼します。
exorcists.
兄さん、
Okay.
ミコ、もしオイラたちが放ってたら、あの二人本当に亡くなってたんじゃないか。そんな深刻なことなのに、なんで助けてあげようとしなかったんだよ。
もちろん命を落とすと言ったのは嘘じゃ。こ
Okay.
のくらい脅しておかねば、怠け者のあやつらは改心しないじゃろう。
じゃああいつの体に取り付いてたのって。
これまでの経験で、汝らもあれに取り付いていたのがどんな例か分かっておるじゃろ。
Oh my god, it was an Oni! I was right!
あ、オイラわかったぞ。
Oh my goodness! Was it wearing a mask or was that its face? Was that like it's just like its armor? I know because they said Oni like original, like full pure-blooded
そう
Oni
じゃ。
had
シンゴの
like
体に取り付いてはおったが、
different
悪
facial
意はなかっ
features.
た。むしろシンゴの肝を鍛えておったくらいじゃ。
Trying to train. You know, come to think of it, he does remind me of Ito a little bit. Oh wow.
なんだ、そうだったのか。でもシンゴのやつ、
Hey,
す
some
ご
people
く
aren't
ビビ
cut
っ
out
て
to be
たよ
fighters.
な。
That's okay. You can still be a man though and not
我
fight.
々たちが塩をまいたことで、一時的にシンゴの体から奴は引き離された。そして汝と戦ったことで力尽き、消えたというわけじゃ。
This
た
giant
とえ我々
floating
たちが
Oni
放って
face
おいたと
is
しても、
so
少し
funny.
すればシンゴの体は弱まり、奴の魂を受け入れられなくなっておったじゃろう。ただそれじゃと、シンゴと傭兵はもう少し苦しむことになっておったがの。
Oh my goodness.
何はともあれ、無事でよかったぜ。
Well, it seems like she knew this
さ
was the
あ、
case
これで一件落着じゃ。
before we
そろそろ行く
left.
ぞ。
So
ちょっと待ってミコ、一件落着って本当にそう思ってるのか。
Yeah, what if other people are other people just getting randomly
そうではな
possessed
いのか？
by Oni or yokai?
ふむ。あやつらが使ったまじないの書かれた本のことじゃな。
Okay.
それならわらわも知っておる。
What are your
実は
thoughts?
今日そのことについて聞きたくてお前のところに来たんだ。その本に書いてあるおまじないが今稲妻ですごく流行ってるらしいんだよ。
人間はわらわたちあやかしのように法力があるわけではない。まじないや怪異などに興味をそそられるのも至極当然のことじゃ。
Mm-hmm.
大事なところは
Yokai
そこ
powers.
じゃなくて
It's just
そ
a
れに書
floating
かれ
face.
たおまじないが
Middle of the
本当
cutscene.
に
I
霊と
can't
か
get over
魂を
it.
呼び寄せてるってとこだ。もうたくさんの人がそのおまじないを試してる。
残念じゃが人間の力には限界がある。たとえまじないを使って霊魂を呼んだとしてもそう長くは体に取り付くことはない。大事には至らぬはずじゃ。
Hmm. Okay.
だったら
If you say
そ
so.
の本は誰が何のために書いたんだ？これってこの先も人に害を与えるものなんじゃないのか？お前はどう思う？
Hmm.
そうだな。娯楽小説のことならもっと興味を示してもおかしくないはずだろ？
八重様、ここにいたのですね。
Damn. Does her editor have a homing device on her? How the hell did he know she was here?
どうしてここへ？
今月の八重堂の売り上げを報告しに参りました。こちらが
He
小説
came
の
out
売
here
り
to,
上げです。
to tell her
内
the
容は
sales
分析済
report
みで
for
す
the
ので
last
ご
quarter?
確認お願い
Shut
しま
the
す。
fuck up. Really?
どれどれ？何？売上1位の座が奪われたじゃと？
はい。総合売り上げ、読者が選ぶ一番好きな小説、流行番付、どれも1位の座を奪われています。すべてあの新生探偵筆記に負けてしまいました。
わっぱよ、こっちへ来い。
Oh, now you. Oh my gosh. Now she gives a shit? 'Cause she's losing.
そんな顔して
Okay.
なんだか怖いぞ。
That's not petty at all. It's fine.
新生探偵筆記の人気が全体的に八重堂の小説を超えておる。これは由々しき事態じゃ。
Yeah. Really? Define serious.
そんなこととはなんじゃ。わらわが苦労し押してきた力作があの本に負けておるのじゃぞ。これは耐え難き問題。
Okay.
何か対策
So
を考え
people's
ねばなら
lives
な
at
い。
stake.
何時らも手伝
I
え。
mean, no one's gonna die, but they might get traumatized for life. But that's fine. The second it affects her book sales, she's like full
こ
in.
の本は誰
Okay.
が書き、そして人に害を与えるのではないかと心配しておったじゃろ。稲妻の人々の安否に関わることは
Oh my gosh, that's so rich. Coming from you? Seriously?
すごく筋は通ってるけど、なんだこの違和感。
気のせいじゃ。何も間違ってなどおらん。
War?
とにかく
Ma'am
戦の始まりじゃ。わらわは先に戻って準備をする。八重堂の前で落ち合おうぞ。
Well, okay. My Oni.
ミコ、来たぞ。それで新生探偵筆記の対策を練るにしてもこれからどうするつもりなんだ？
ふむ。当ててみるがよい。
I don't know.
解決の糸口は八重堂と関係しておる。
Yeah, I guess that much.
あ、わかった。八重堂の名前とミコの影響力を使ってみんなにこの本に書かれたおまじないの危険性を伝えるんだろ？
ほう、まさかこんなにも早く。外れを言うとはの。
違うのか？
神聖探麗筆記は今や稲妻で最も流行しておる娯楽小説じゃ。わらわたちがそんなことをしてしまえばまじないの効力を裏付けるのと同じこと。労して忠告しても結局は好奇心が勝り試す輩が増えるじゃろう。そうすればこの本の売り上げが止まることもなく人々に買われ続ける。
それじゃあダメだな。なら本を没収するっていうのはどうだ？
Oh yeah, that'll go well.
一冊の娯楽小説のためにそのような騒ぎを起こせば人や資源を無駄に費やすこととなる。それに稲妻で安寧に過ごしておる人々もきっと混乱するじゃろう。
I still can't believe we're planning a smear campaign against this book.
いいや、方法
I
が
guess
な
it's
い
the
な
most
どと
effective
わ
way
らわは
to
一言も言ってお
discount
らぬ
it.
ぞ。神
Get
聖
people
探
to stop
麗筆記は
using
わ
it.
らわも読んだ。まじないのことを抜きにしても実に面白いものであった。古今東西のあらゆる怪談について熟練の手法で物語が描かれておる。もしここ最近の娯楽小説の中でそれを上回る作品がなければその勢いを止めることも難しいはずじゃ。そう、流行にとって変わるのは新たな流行しかない。つまりわらわたちで新たな人気娯楽小説を作るのじゃ。正
Okay.
々堂々と売り上げで相手を倒し人々の注目をこちらに集める。それこそがわらわの戦い方じゃ。
Okay.
それにこの方法を使えば神聖探麗筆記のもたらす影響を最小限に抑えるこ
How
とができ
lucky.
る。
ちょっと待った。娯楽小説を書くのか？オイラたち
もちろん小説は一朝一夕で書けるようなものではない。じゃがわらわは八重堂の編集長わらわなりの秘策がある。
Are you gonna crack down
作
on
る
your
のは
people?
我らたちじゃ。共同創作という言葉は何時も聞いたことあるじゃろ。とにかく八重堂が主催する小説の公募もまだ締め切られておらん。まずは読者の好みについて情報を集めてきてくれぬか。一通り情報が揃ったら右遊亭に合流じゃ。わらわも人を集めておく。
Okay. I like how we're the ones doing this. You know, the non-experts. Instead, Yae could be doing this. The expert.
娯楽小説が売れるには挿絵も重要なんだ。
We didn't even ask this bro a question.
挿絵を
He
入れる
just
場所、
outright
その
started
内容、
talking.
どの絵師に描かせるかなどさまざまな工夫を凝らす必要がある。挿絵が良ければ悪い点を補うことだってできるんだ。逆に挿絵がいまいちだとどんなにいい物語でもダ作になってしまうことがある。挿絵のために娯楽小説を買うという言葉だってあるほどだ。僕からすればその言葉はあながち間違いでもない。神聖探麗筆記も挿絵がとても良かった。今までに見たことない画風だったよ。
We didn't even ask him a question. How does he know that that's what we were wanting to
僕
know?
は昔から娯楽小説を読むのが好きでね。奇抜な発想で書かれた幻想譚とか見たこともない設定を盛り込んだ物語とか。ただ近年の作品はどれも似たようなものばかりなんだ。中身を読まなくても署名だけでどんな内容か想像。最近だと神聖探麗筆記くらいしか面白いもん。話はもちろんのこと描写がすごく細かいんだ。まるで
Okay. One more.
俺に言わせれば従来の物語だと主人公がゆっくりと成長していき別れや失望の中で強くなっていく。今稲妻で流行っている神聖探麗筆記は最初から主人公が強くてね、読んでいてとても爽快感があったよ。物語の主人公は陽子で呪文や秘宝を熟知しているだけでなく書画や茶道にも精通しているんだ。
What? That sounds like Yae Miko a
娯
little
楽
bit.
小説が好きな人たちっていろんなこだわりがあるんだな。
Okay.
聞いた話をミコにも伝えよ
我々八重堂が主催する受賞作は多大な宣伝効果を得られ、
Okay, so she's just advertising it. What's this? Mysterious item in the shrine. There's a mysterious item in the box. Seems like a present for the Archons. From the what? What? What was that? Was that part of the quest? What the hell was that?
ふむ、来たか。まずはナンジラにわらわら
Alright, getting right in. Right down to business, I guess.
この二人はナンジラも知っておるな。シゲルは経験豊富な編集者じゃ。そしてそやつと組んでおるのが作家の純吉。ここ最近いい作品が書けずに悩んでおるようじゃが、里見は八重堂の主力作家じゃ。複数の筆名を使い分け、さまざまな作風の物語を書いておる。もちろん筆名は企業秘密じゃ。
Okay.
我らで小説を書き上げ、神聖探麗筆記を打倒する。どうじゃ？これで安心したか？
Sure.
そういうことだったのか。
なら次はナンジラの集めてきた読者が求める作品について話してもらおうかの。ふむ、見たこともない設定、展開の早い物語、綺麗な挿絵に爽快感か。確かに。じゃがそれよりも重要なのが作品に描かれる現実感を伝えられるかどうかじゃ。たとえ娯楽小説であってもな。
だんだん分かってきたけど、結局どうやって書けばいいんだ？見たこともない設定って言われても、どんな設定にすればいいかわからないぞ。
その言葉を理解する前に、まずは自分の読者層を把握する必要がある。
True.
例えば神聖探麗筆記、わらわにとっては陽子など知り尽くしておるものじゃ。じゃが人々には目新しいものとして映る。これが作者と読者の間にある情報の差じゃ。わっぱよ、汝は旅人として稲妻の人々が知らぬことをあまたと知っておろう。汝にとって見慣れたものでも、
Oh, well.
人々にとっては全く知らない。
I'm pretty sure we've been through a lot that many
見たこともない
people
設定になるはずじゃ。
in general haven't been
そういう
through.
ことか。じゃあモンドとリーユへのことで何か思いつかないか考えてみようぜ。でもそれだと神聖探麗筆記と違う感じの小説になっちゃうけど。
問題ない。何も神聖探麗筆記と争うことだけを考える必要はない。それが面白いものであれば、ここにいる専門家たちが自然とより良いものに仕上げてくれるじゃろう。
よし、じゃあまず第一章の内容から考えようぜ。何かいいアイディアはあるか？
Encounters with airborne emergency rations. Oh, Ito main, fellow Ito main. That's funny. The work-shy bard. Shut the fuck up. The dragon and the grand adventure. I wanna. The first one is funniest, but I don't know. We'll just go with the first one. It's funny.
100点満点中
See?
90点じゃな。
Mika thought it was funny.
異世界で空飛ぶ非常食とは一体どんな味でどう調理するのじゃろうな。こういった物語の始まりは読者の興味を引くことがで
Culinary
き
arts and subject matter.
る。料理を題材にした作品を甘く見るでないぞ。悪くないな、わっぱよ。自らの経験のみだけでなく、どうやら汝も娯楽小説をよく読んでおるようじゃ。どれも要点を抑えておる。皆はどう思う？これらの考えから面白い物語は作れそうか？
はい、大丈夫だと思います。ついつい設定を複雑にしてしまうのが僕の癖ですが。
Okay.
ならよい。第一章はこれで進めるとしよう。次は第二章じゃ。
まだ続けるのか？
読者というのは読むのが早いんじゃ。苦労して人気を得ても続きが出なければすぐに離れてしまう。じゃからほれ、 第2章を作るぞ。そ
どうしたんだ？眉間にシワが寄ってるけど。
Oh. The creative bank is empty.
初心者ならではの発想で良い案がまだまだ出てくるかと思ったが、
どういうことだ？
これはスランプという名の魔王じゃ。突如として現れる生涯の敵、作者に死と同等の苦しみを与え、こういう時は美味しいものでも食べて心を落ち着かせるに限る。天使よ、油揚げを一つ。それとこやつらに串
Not fried tofu. Ito's with
味
us.
付けは普通でよい。安心せ。わらわの
The
おごり
way
じゃ。
they stared at
おご
her.
り？そういえば。
We're too used to Zhongli. We're scarred.
作ってるんだし。
当然じゃ。創作に参加した全員にあるぞ。
やったー。よし、早くスランプを退治しろ。オイラたちの原稿料のためにも頭をフル回転させるんだ。お？何かひらめいたのか
Turned out to be Christmas. This one, hands down.
どれどれリーヨエにたどり着いた主人公はモラを払えずにいる男性と出会う。しかし後にその人物がかの有名な元王帝君だということを知るのであった。七星の助力と千人の加護、そして広大な大地を自由気ままに旅をする。これが俗に言う爽快感ってやつか？
ふむ。わらわの評価は
9.8.
98点じゃ。爽快感があり、これといった欠点もない。それにかの帝君にまつわる伝説は数多くある。少なくとも市場価値はある。良いじゃろ。
そうか。勝利が気
You
にしない
probably
といい
think
ん
it's
だ
funny,
けど。
honestly.
よし。これで里見も物語が書ける
You
じ
can
ゃ
see
ろ。
him enjoying it
お任せく
over
だ
a
さい、
cup
ヤエ
of
様。
osmanthus wine. No. Tea that takes 5 hours to boil.
第
That
3
and
章は
steep that
稲
one.
妻の物語を書くぞ。この章はわらわが手伝おう。メガリレーや抵抗軍を参考にしてもよいじゃろう
Stop
な。
this.
何か案はあるか？
Let's get rid of the mission hunt decree. Oh my god. Farewell literature hunt decree. Stop it. Starting as a resistance soldier. The first one's funny.
ふむ。汝にぴったりな物語じゃな。事実とほとんど相違ない。大丈夫じゃ。稲妻で起きたことならば少し現実味を加えた方が読者の気も引きやすい。じゃがわらわが汝にお守りを授けたところは少し改変する必要がある。
Huh.
不思議な狐お姉さんは主人公に願いを叶えるおまじないを教え、主人公はそれを頼りにライデン将軍を打ち倒
Oh,
した。
to like replace
これ
the
に変えると
wish
しよう。
summoning thing. Okay.
それって神聖鍛錬筆記のおまじないと真っ向勝負するってことか？
そうとも言える。主人公が呪文を唱えるところは物語が出来上がった後、わらわが直々に書き加えよう。
でもこれで大丈夫なのか？
内容はこれで問題ない。じゃが宣伝がまだ足りぬ。絵
Promote
師に
it.
連絡して挿絵を描いてもらおう。無論神聖鍛錬筆記に負けぬものをじゃ。それから帯の推薦文は最近話題のひなさんに書いてもらうと
Miss
しよう。
Hina? Who is that?
彼女は月刊漢字に設けてある
That's
読者
like...
質問欄の専属作家じゃ。
Oh,
稲妻の人々にも
interesting.
人
Like
気
an
がある。
advice column? Okay.
皆が創作しておる間、汝はしばし休むとよい。それと八重堂でひなさんに推薦文を書いてもらうよう依頼を出しておいてくれぬか。原稿が完成したら小説を提出する場所で落ち合おう。
I'm actually really interested to meet this Miss Hina because Ito really likes her. So I need to know who this Miss Hina is because my baby is a fan. It's such a cute laugh.
普段ひなさんは推薦文を書かないのですが、宮司様からの頼みでしたら交渉してみます。実は最近ひなさんの人気がますます高くなっているんです。しかしひなさん本人はそれらに興味を示さず、いつも通り真剣に読者のお便りに返信をしています。
Interesting.
ただそこが皆さんに好かれる理由でもあるのでしょう。少し話がそれてしまいました。お二方の娯楽小説が売れて、我々八重堂の売上記録を更新してくださることを祈って。
頑張るぜ。
Aw, damn it. I thought we were gonna meet her. Well, oh well. Wow, the manuscript's written and everything? Already? That was fast.
それではこちらの作品を提出ということでよろしいでしょうか。署名は旅人の奇妙な冒険、作者の筆名は千寿祭で問題ございませんね。
変な筆名。多分ミコがつけたんだろうな。これ
何もおかしなところなどないじゃろう。わらわたち全員で完成させた作品じゃ。
では
I
至急
think the
こち
pen
らを印
name's
刷
cool,
し、
actually.
稲妻各地で試験販売をいたします。具体的な売り上げは3日後にお伝えできるかと。
どうしよう。おいら緊張してきたぞ。
We're all
大
professionals.
丈夫なんだよな。
その通り。自分の作品に自信を持ってこそ娯楽小説作家というものじゃ。
あなた方の登録は済みました。3日後に結果を確認しに来てください。ご応募ありがとうございました。皆様の小説が売れることを祈っております。
Well, I guess we gotta wait 3 days then.
あ、お待ちしておりました。
We have.
皆様にいいお知らせがあります。先日出版された娯楽小説の売れ行きが好調で、
Wow. Okay.
新人作家がこのような成功を収めるなんて偉業とも言えましょう。こちらは見本紙です。どうぞお受け取りください。売上に対する報酬は後日お送りしますので、またその時お知らせいたしますね。
あ、そうだ。この娯楽小説を書いた目的は申請。かなり売れてはいるみたいだけど。
安心せえ。変化はすでに生まれておる。
Oh?
ほれ、周りの者の声に耳を傾けてみよう。以前と違うじゃろ。
なあ、今流行りのおまじない知ってるか？真夜中に新生鍛錬筆記に書いてある呪文を。
ああ、それね。前に流行ってたやつでしょ。あれなら周りでもそんな話をしてる人なんていないだろう。今流行ってるのは狐お姉さんの秘伝術さ。その呪文だったら僕も
狐お姉さんの秘伝術？なんだそれ。
なんだ、まだ読んでないのか。なら教えてやる。噂によると無月の夜にその術を唱えれば、あとこれも噂なんだが、新生鍛錬筆記のおまじないはかなりヤバいものらしいぞ。願い事、最終的には狐お姉さんの秘伝術を使ってやっと落ち着いたとか。つまりこの術はあの呪文よりも高度なものってことだ。俺の周りのやつらもこの術を試してみたくて。
そうなのか。だったら俺も準備しとかないと。
どうじゃ、安心したか。
What's this other incantation that was in the book
みん
though?
なの興味がオイラたちの娯楽小説に移ってる。でもあいつらの言ってた
Yeah.
無月の夜って何？物語を考えた時にそんな設定はなかったはずだよな。
この先とても重要になってくるものじゃよ。さて、この勝負もそろそろ。
次の段階なんかあったの？
当然じゃ。小説が存在するということは。
ああ、確かにそうだな。そいつを放置したらまた次の新生鍛錬筆記が出てくる
I'm surprised this wasn't brought up first. That's the first thing I thought of, was the author.
では取り掛かるとしよう。この小説を書いた者についてはすでに特定できておる。じゃが、わらわたちがそやつを見つけたとき、その小説について全く覚えがないと言って、そう。
He was
そやつも
possessed.
かつて取り憑かれておったのじゃ。話を聞くと、当時投稿した小説が失敗に終わり、途方に暮れながら一人で荒海の近くを歩いておったらしい。
でもその小説を書いたレイコンはもうそいつから離れてるんだろ
Well, we should double check
そ
that
ん
it
なのは簡
has.
単じゃ。あやつは小説の中で高齢術の呪文を書いておった。わっぱよ。また何時の出番じゃな。
What?
何を言うておるのじゃ。面白いのは
Not if it's at my expense, lady.
ミコ
Doesn't look
ここって
very
どこな
inviting.
んだ
例の作者と握手会をするのに一番適した場所じゃよ。
本当か
怪異に関することじゃからな。もうすぐ神聖探麗筆記の作者が誰かわかるんじゃ。
いや確かに心臓がバクバクいってるけど
Well, you're a little scaredy cat, so that's not abnormal.
待ってくれよほーらやっぱり怖い
Well, put your hand on my shoulder if you don't want to get lost. Because I ain't slowing down for you, babes. Bringing my Ito and my puppy man. And the two captains. Oh, I don't know why. Duh, of course she's gonna be part of this. Okay. Well, I like her outfit. I love pink. And she has pink hair. Ooh. Very pretty. Oh, that's a cool weapon.
変な絵だなミコ何が書いてあるかわかるか
ふむ。昔の稲妻の景色じゃな。
すごくよく書かれてるけどなんか不気味で怖いぞあれ絵にサインが書いてあるなになに
さあ、中に入るぞ。
She's a little weirdly dismissive of that. Like she knows something and she's waiting to share it at the opportune moment. Okay. I just wanted to watch her ears bounce. Okay. Oh. Ooh. Oh, shit. What's that? Oh. Oh. Oh, wow. Oh, like little turrets. Okay. This is a very small area here. Oh, wow. That's kind of cool. I like that her little tail comes out whenever she does that. Very cool. I like catalysts. See, I really like her play style and she has such a cool, like, cute design. But I have like a love-hate relationship with her.
あそこにあるのって鏡かそれに変な形の椅子だな何に使うんだろう
なるほど
So cute.
この配置は都合が良い手間が省けそうじゃな
a mirror.
よしナンジラはあたりを探索してみてくれぬかこの部屋を動かす仕掛けがあるはずじゃ
Hello, boys. Ooh, the charged attack looked cool. Oh! Ooh! Ooh, what does her ult do? Maybe we'll save it for like one of the crowds. I'm sure there's gonna be more enemies. Okay, yeah, we'll take care of these guys real quick. Ooh!
来光
Ooh, very cool. Oh, all her tails. She has multiple
律令
kitsune tails.
呪言
Cool. Alright. Let's bring Ito out. Get him, baby. I don't have Ito's weapon yet. I've been rolling on his weapon banner. I have white blind on him right now, but I really want red horn. I lost the initial 50-50, so I got a standard banner weapon. And then I went to full pity again and got the other weapon that's on the banner right now, which is Dust, the catalyst weapon. So I'm building up to a third round of frickin' pity. I'm guaranteed red horn, but I've been through 2 rounds of full pity. None of the weapons came early, they all came late pity. Okay, we got all of the thingies.
さっきオイラたちが見た絵だ。壁が回転してこっち側に回ってきた。余計不気味で怖くなったぞ。
Oh wait, there's the mirror
さて
behind
ここからは
us.
わらわが陽子の秘伝術を紹介してやろう。この絵は略式降霊媒介といって薄暗い鏡面にはかつての情景が映し出され、それに心を揺さぶられた霊魂たちが引き寄せられる。さて、次は何時の出番じゃ。
What?
ほれわっぱよ、ここに座るんじゃ。
Wait a minute, are we gonna be the one that's
降
possessed?
霊儀式とは霊魂を生きた者の身に憑依させることじゃ。何時もあの鬼族の武士を見たじゃろう。人間の体から離れた状態ではその場に存在できる時間は限られておる。
でも霊がこいつの体に憑依するなんて本当に大丈夫なのか。
やけにわっぱを心配するのじゃな。まったく羨ましい限りじゃ。
Can you answer the question?
わらわの友人
Will
も
it have
その
negative
ような優し
effects?
き心を持っておったらどんなに良かったことか。わっぱよ、怖いか？大丈夫じゃ。すぐに
She didn't answer the question.
な、椅子に座り
Which means the answer is
心身ともに
yes, it
落ち着か
could
せ
have possibly
あ
negative
の絵を見る
effects.
んじゃ。
She didn't say
緊
no.
張せず自然体でよい。
Oh my gosh.
なんかまるで絵の中で座ってるみたいだ。
Okay.
オイラの錯覚か。今絵が動いたぞ。
Oh.
呪文を念じるんじゃ、わっぱよ。それと強い思いも必要になる。
It's interesting how wishes are once again coming
神聖探霊
into
筆記の作者が出てくるか。何時ならもう分かっておるじゃろ。
小説に関することだよな。
その通りじゃ。じゃがより現実味を与えるために少し背中を押してやろう。先生、小説の売れ行きが良好なのはいいことじゃが、いつになったら第4章の大枠が完成するんじゃ。
Oh. Oh my god, that was high-key kind of terrifying. That thing was so scary. What the fuck?
まさかこの降霊儀式をわし自身に使われる日が来るとはの。またも小説を書いてほしいという願いか。なんじゃい、この時代では小説が流行っておるのか。
やっと見つけたぞ。お前が神聖探霊筆記の作者だな。お前が小説に書いたあの呪文、一体何を企んでるんだ。
ほう、
なるほど。はは道理で懐かしい気配がすると思ったら、わしを捕まえるための罠じゃったか。あれをやった意図とな。もちろん呪文の力であやかしの亡霊を大地へと呼び戻し、稲妻に血の雨を降らせるためじゃよ。
Okay. That's a little concerning.
やっぱりそんな恐ろしいことを企んでたんだな。
こうも簡単にこのわしを体に憑依させるとは。ほう、こやつの体からとてつもない強い力を感じるぞ。
It's so weird to see Lumina emoting because it's not her. It's this other. It's this.
この
It's the spirit, but it just
早く目を覚ませ。
throws into perspective that like Lumine does not show what she feels at all,
どんなに叫ぼうと、こ
or
やつ
very
は
rarely.
大きい。
She's not expressive.
この体はもうわしのものじゃ。
Just try it, Dick.
起きろって。そんなやつに乗っ取られちゃダメだ。ミコ、どうにかしてくれって。ミコ。
まったく裏臭い。さすがは汝じゃ。察しがよい。
高みの見物をしよって。さっきの目くばせはわしにこれをやらせるためだったのじゃろう。
Oh shit, they know each other.
ほれ見たことか。そこの飛んどるおちびちゃんを怖がらせてしまったではないか。
何を言うておる。さっきまであんなに楽しそうに悪役を演じておったじゃろ。すべてわらわのせいにする気か。
裏臭い？ミコ、もしかして知り合いなのか？
へっ、知り尽くしておるわい。
では改めて紹介しよう。こやつが神聖鍛錬筆記の作者。いや、より正確に言うと裏臭いの記憶
Memory?
じゃな。
記憶？ベーコンじゃないのか？
まあ霊魂も記憶ももともと地脈から来る同種のものじゃ。
Oh,
先日獣域ハウ
right.
ンドが神王の根に噛みついた
Yes,
件を
yes, I do.
何も覚えておるじゃろ。
Mm-hmm.
その時地脈から溢れ出る人間の記憶を汝らは見たはずじゃ。
Oh.
人間のものがあるならあやかしもまたしかりじゃ。
Interesting.
生前あやかしは法力を有しておる。たとえ昔日の幻影であっても姿を現すかどうかを意図的に制御することができる。そして一般的に人間の記憶よりも長くこの世に残ることが可能じゃ。
Okay.
そうじゃ。九段の小説もわしが神王の根の近くをさまよっておったら、で気まぐれにそやつの体に入り
そうだったの
Just
か。
that simply?
でも、なんで本の中に恒例の呪文なんか書いたんだ？
自慢じゃないが、わしは生きておった頃一世を風靡した大陽子での。わしの記憶は人間の体に入ることができるんじゃ。ただ、
Oh.
小さなあやかしではそれができぬ。
Huh. Okay.
そこであの呪文じゃ。あれを使えば誰もがこの世にしばし戻ることができる。
こやつは汝らのその行為が人間に迷惑をかけておる。
迷惑とはわしらが去る時に夢が終わってしまうことか。あった。それと熱が出てしまうこともそうじゃったか。
Wow.
人間は
Okay.
わしらのような揚力を生まれつき持っておらん。 自分たちの手で運命を変えられる点こそ人間の最も誇れる点じゃとわしは思う。
Okay.
他の者の力に頼って努力をおろそかにするなぞ。痛い目を見て当然じゃ。むしろわしは人間のために貢献しておると思うぞ。そうじゃろ、ミコ。
No.
わらわもそう思う。
No.
わかったよ。
じゃからおちびちゃん、そう怖がらずとも大丈夫じゃ。ミコ
Oh,
は
I
普段
didn't
ふざけ
doubt
ておる
that
が、
ever.
法力では一二を争うあやかしじゃしな。
You don't have an attitude like hers without having something to back it up.
汝の書いた神聖探麗筆記よりも
そういうことじゃったか。面倒なことを一番嫌うお前がこの画室に来てわざわざわしを呼び出したからには、以前皆で百物語をした時もいつもわしに立てついておったしな。まあよい、わしの負けじゃ。これでよいか。
何百年もの時を経てようやっと汝からその言葉を聞けてわらわは満足じゃ。
いつも人の肩に乗っ取るのが好きだった小娘が
Oh, wow.
この数百年で立派になりよって。
Oh, Miko's not as old as I thought she was. Only a few
汝
hundred
に残さ
years.
れた時間は
そう長くはない。みんな同じじゃ。わしらは来た場所へと帰らねばならん。
What does that mean?
じゃが満足しながらも皆思わず口にしてしまう。もう一度百鬼夜行をやりたいと。
What's that?
裏臭い。そのことなら安心せ。わらわがすでに手を打っておる。
Arrangements are being made.
わらわの
Is that some
鈴の
kind
音
of
が
ceremony?
響く頃、それは無月の夜が降臨するとき。
Wait, Moonless Night? Isn't that what she wrote about in her book?
そいつはいい。素晴らしいぞ。ミコ、その時が来るまでわしは力を温存せねばならん。
行くがよい。
ミコよ、一つ聞くが、今日まで元気に過ごしておったか？
当然じゃ。それはもう日々を楽しく過ごしておる。特に近年、世に娯楽小説なるものが普及した。それだけでない。おせっかいな二人の異教人とも出会えた。それに、あの頑固な A も、ようやく少し融通が利くようになったしの。
ほほー。そう。
裏臭い。汝もきっと、この時代を気に入るじゃろう。汝のように物語をかけて絵も描ける人物は八重堂の主力となれるはずじゃ。
Wow, that was actually the first time we really saw Yae Miko like genuinely be super sincere. It was
意識はは
refreshing.
っきりしておるか？さあ、前にもやったように、わらわの後に。ほう、わらわが言うよりも先に答えるとは。どうじゃった？初めて憑依された感
I'm
覚
sure
は。
it felt very unpleasant.
そうかそうか。裏臭いに負けを認めさせることができ、わらわも心がすっきりした。じゃからあやつらがやりたいと思ったことはわらわが代わりに叶えてやらねばならぬ。そうじゃ。あやつらは地脈を流れる記憶の一部に過ぎぬが、それでもきっとここまで付き合ったんじゃ。もちろん最後の儀式も手伝ってくれるじゃろ。
おいおい、まだオイラたちをこき使うのかよ。さっき裏臭いと一緒になってオイラをからか
This
って
isn't for her. I'm sure this is some sort of ceremony honoring the dead yokai from the past. I want to be a part of that. All right. Well, that was interesting. Again, I think it was cool to see Miko like genuinely super down to earth and sincere. Cause I could tell she really cared when we were like during Raiden's quest, and she was like wanting us to genuinely help A. But I think it was really cool that this felt very like fond and like relaxed, and that was nice.
わっぱたち来てくれたか。時間ぴったりじゃな。
健康料のためなんだ。
No, I actually want to watch whatever this is.
ミコ、百鬼夜行の手伝いって何をすればいいんだ？正直オイラたち百鬼夜行が何なのかすら分かってないんだけど。
I'm assuming it's some kind of
百鬼
ceremony.
夜行と聞くと恐ろしいものに聞こえるやもしれぬが、ざっくりといえばただのあやかしたちの集いじゃ。その昔、あやかしたちは宴を開き、溺れるほど酒を飲んだ。揚力で空を飛び、その様は月の明かりさえも遮るほどであった。
Oh my gosh.
じゃが現在、地脈から溢れ出たあやかしの記憶は力が弱く、空を飛ぶことさえままならぬ。そこで、わらわがあやつらのために修礼儀式を行い、散逸した記憶を集合させるつもりじゃ。察すればあやつらは鳴神大社の上空へと集うことじゃろう。そして力尽きた後、満足してあるべき場所へとやつらは帰る。
What does that mean?
実は儀式の前準備はもうとっくに終わっておる。わらわが小説に書き加えた呪文と無月の夜を覚えておるか？
So that does have something to do with this.
無月の夜に狐お姉さんの秘伝術を唱えるんだったよな。
そうじゃ。あの本に書いたのは願いを叶えるためのまじないではない。その時が来たら皆であやつらを送ってやろう。わらわはじきに儀式の準備に取り掛かる。そこで汝には2つのことをしてもらいたい。まず神社の巫女たちに下山するよう告げること。百鬼夜行が行われれば大量のあやかしの記憶が鳴神大社の上空を舞う。
Oh, I
万が一
see.
誰かに憑依でもされ
That's
たら
smart.
後々厄介になるからな。
She's looking out for her maidens.
その後、わらわは儀式を始め、あやかしの記憶を集める。この過程は時間がかかるゆえ、その間、普段のチリチリとなった記憶であれば危険はないが、力が集まれば魔物たちにも影響を与えてしまうやもしれぬ。
Okay.
奴らは本能で山へ登ろうとするじゃろう。汝らにはそれを阻止してきてほしい。
I have an Oni. I will be fine.
ふむ、その後か。神社へ戻り手伝いをしながら近くであやかしを見るのも悪くないじゃろ。
よし、それじゃ出発しよう。
Wow, this sounds really cool. I'm actually really excited about this. I wonder what this is going to look like. But can you imagine? Like, imagine that there were so many yokai in ancient Inazuma that when they all flew into the air, they blocked out the moon's light, bro. That's crazy. That's a lot. That's a lot. Wow.
下山は宮司様の命令ですか？
Yep.
そうなんだ。これから行う儀式がお前たちの体に影響を与えるかもしれないから、巫女が山を降りるようにって。そうなのですね。すぐに手配いたします。
Yeah, like, are we gonna
オイ
get
ラたちは
possessed?
あいつの手伝いをした後、ここに戻ってきて一緒に儀式をやるつもりだ。
I want to see the yokai. Miko can take care of herself.
宮司様はあなたが以前まではこのような重要な儀式を行う際では儀式の方はお願いいたします。安心しろ。オイラたちは強いからな。
You mean I'm much stronger than I
ミ
look,
コが儀式を
Paimon?
始めるみたいだ。オイラたちも下山して魔物たちを阻止しに行こう。
Alright. Okay, Ito. We gotta go kick some ass.
あの魔物たち、なんかすごく凶暴そうだぞ。
You can say that.
早くやっつけよう。
Oh,
来たぞ。
the Oni mask is ready. I guess it didn't go away. I fought some dudes for a chest. Ow! I don't know why I didn't dodge that. I just watched him run up to me and smash Ito in the face. He goes, oi! Not me actually letting him getting hit so I can hear what he says. I know I could look it up, but what's the fun in that? Ooh! Was that 10k? I've never seen a number that big. My characters have never produced a number like that. And Ito's not even fully built and he did that. Wow. Alright, Goro. Set the stage for Ito. Ah! That never gets old. That screen never gets old. There we go. Ooh. I love his moveset. He's so cool. More? Bring it, boys. Okay, and then Ito. There we go. I'm learning. I'm learning. Slowly but surely. I'm learning. Wow. Wow. Ito, you did so well, baby. At least for me. Okay. I'm serious, I've never done 10k before. That was a first. And I know that's probably, again, like not a big number for most players, but bro, that was a milestone. Cutscene? Whoa!
So, あやかしたちの記憶じゃ。長いこと体を伸ばして空を飛んでいなかったようじゃな。わらわについてこい。
Oh, wow.
どうしたわっぱ。緊張しておるのか？
だってこんな光景見たことないから。ああ、本当に月明かりが遮られた。
この光景だけで言えば確かに恐ろしいやもしれぬ。じゃがただ騒ぐのが好きな勇敢な奴らじゃとわらわは知っておる。たとえ凄惨な戦いで身が滅びようと魂が迷うことはなかった。ただ時は短きもの。宴は終わりが来るものじゃ。そんなに名残惜しいならわらわと共に唱えるがよい。白心に申す鎮魂のため祝いたまい。
祝いたまい。
導きたまえ。
稲妻城から光が
晩狐お姉さんの秘伝術を唱えれば願いが叶うらしい。
白真に申す鎮魂のため
祝いたまい導きたまえ。
かしこみかしこみ。
かしこみも申す。
裏臭い。汝は元気にしておるかと聞いたが、わらわは本当に毎日楽しくしておる。じゃが今汝らが去るのを見て少し寂しく思う。ほんの少しだけじゃぞ。ふむ。わらわ
Wow.
が想定していた通り、
I almost got emotional at that last bit
ご苦
with
労じゃったな。
everyone praying and sending off the yokai, even though they didn't know exactly what it was. There was something really beautiful about
わ
that.
らわは何ともないぞ。
Wow.
でもさっき様子が
大丈夫じゃ。何のことはない。わらわはまったく。
ミコ
もし心からわらわのために何かしたいと思っておるのなら、地層でもおごってもらおうかの。
おう、わかった。今度おいしいもんをおごってや。
であれば次に会うのを楽しみにしておるぞ。
That was really beautiful. I wasn't expecting that. That was such a lovely cutscene. Seeing all these souls off that fought for not just the humans, but like Inazuma, so people, yokai, I guess, who died. Wow. That's pretty amazing. And that she found a way to get the humans to kind of pay their respects as well. Like, again, they didn't know exactly what the prayer did, but it was still really nice that they kind of acknowledged these souls who fought for them, fought for Inazuma. Oh wow, we have a lot of sigils. I need to be better about coming here. Ooh. Oh, we get wishes next time. All right. But wow, I'm genuinely very impressed. As someone who, I'm not saying I don't like Miko, but I was kind of like I said earlier, like sometimes, like the second I'm starting to warm up to her, she kind of does something that like rubs me slightly the wrong way. It's like I said, like an annoying sister. You're kind of like, oh, okay, like I'm fond of you, but I also kind of want to shake your shoulders a little bit sometimes. But what she just did just now was genuinely very lovely, and I can see how underneath all the, you know, masks and stuff, she does get really lonely, you know? Who wouldn't? Being kind of like the last surviving, I guess not, she's not the only kitsune, I don't think, but yokai are very, very rare creatures nowadays. Even Ito isn't full Oni, right? Okay. Ito, I'm talking. But yeah, anyway, Ito himself isn't even a full Oni, right? He's not pure-blooded. Even though he's very, very much still an Oni and not a human, he's still not fully Oni. So I think it's interesting that the surviving yokai in the world, finding their place in Inazuma today is a difficult thing. You know what? I'm just gonna save my comments for the end. Yes, baby. He keeps talking over me, so I'll see you guys at the end.
I then found myself reborn as Guji Yae, leading shrine maidens in sacred matters, sipping tea and kneeling in solemn meditation, and making appearances to listen to shrine visitors.
Enough.
Oh,
This won't do. We're making a light novel here, not a dry documentary. And honestly, do you really think I lead such a boring existence?
No, not at all, Lady Gucci.
That's chief editor to you.
Yes, Chief Editor.
A light novel begins with pure imagination. For example, I must say, this is quite the cunning trap.
Ooh, that flute! This music is popping up. Wow.
But have I walked into your trap? Or have
The
you
music!
walked into mine? I'm always watching.
Her and Ayato's demos have had the sickest music. I swear.
A sight to behold.
I admit defeat. Just do it. Exercise me.
Exorcise you? But I thought you weren't ready to return to the cycle. So
The
first,
cycle.
let me show you what a cruel world this can be.
Cycle?
It's so
Ma'am.
graphic. You'd never really do something like that, would you?
Splendid.
Oh, look
When the
at the
reader
little,
starts asking that
the little
question,
fox.
you know you've written a good one.
Yae Miko is a divine kitsune. As the Electro Archon's familiar and Guji of the Grand Narukami Shrine, her dignified presence commands awe and respect. But as chief editor of the Yae Publishing House, and a patron and participant of festivities, her crafty tone keeps you guessing. This leaves many uncertain of how to deal with the majestic but mystifying Miko. In reality, however, if you want to make Lady Guji smile, you needn't deliver an eloquent speech. You simply need to say these 4 magic words. Something amusing just happened.
Whatever would you do without me?
In Yae Miko's eyes, shooing away pesky intruders is a tedious task that does not require her personal involvement. She can leave this to the kitsune spirits. Only when her curiosity is aroused will Yae Miko show her fabled fox form and summon lightning plummeting from above. It's said that those lucky enough to witness this spectacle never live to tell of the tale. With her age and experience, Yae Miko is one of the most learned in the land. Even if the spur-of-the-moment stories she enjoys telling make this hard to believe. When Yae Miko crafts character talent materials, there is a chance to obtain 1 extra random item of the same region.
Oh,
This
wow,
item
that's
has
hella
the same
helpful.
rarity as the material consumed.
Wow.
Yae Miko's normal attack performs up to 3 consecutive attacks, dealing electro damage. Her charged
that
attack consumes a
interruptibility
set amount of stamina and
resistance.
deals AoE electro damage after a short casting time. Tap her elemental skill,
Her
and
little
Yae Miko
tail.
moves swiftly, leaving behind a Seisho Sakura. While on the field, it periodically strikes one nearby enemy with lightning, dealing electro damage.
Okay.
This skill has 3 charges, and a maximum of 3 Seisho Sakura can exist at one time. If another Seisho Sakura is nearby, its level is increased, meaning its lightning strikes deal more damage. Initially, Seisho Sakura are created at level 1, and the maximum level is 3. By strategically spacing the Seisho Sakura, Yae Miko can quickly create an ideal formation to increase their damage level and put her enemy in a difficult position. When the Guji of the shrine recites a blessing, thunder roars in response. After unlocking the talent Enlightened Blessing, Seisho Sakura damage is increased based on Yae Miko's elemental mastery.
I'm always watching.
When Yae Miko unleashes her elemental burst, she summons a lightning strike, dealing AoE electro damage. When cast, Yae Miko unseals nearby Seisho Sakura, destroying their outer forms and transforming them into Tenko Thunderbolts, dealing further AoE electro damage. For each Seisho Sakura destroyed in this way, one Tenko Thunderbolt strikes down. After unlocking the talent, the Shrine's Sacred Shade, when Yae Miko casts her elemental burst, each Seisho Sakura destroyed resets the cooldown for one charge of her elemental skill.
Nice.
Don't let Yae Miko's graceful outward appearance fool you into thinking she is gracious in temperament.
Oh, it doesn't.
For that would be a fatal error. During battle, Yae Miko does not think twice before unleashing Seisho Sakura. She ensnares the enemy in a perilous position, dealing damage and creating opportunities for teammates to attack. When energy is full, Yae Miko unleashes her elemental burst, unsealing nearby Seisho Sakura, and summoning Tenko Thunderbolts to make sure these tiresome foes disappear for good. In storytelling skill, the writers of the Yae Publishing House are my superior. When I get talking, I tend to speak of true historical events. But under Chief Editor Yae's guidance, works of sheer fantasy thrive, accounting for the vast majority of popular light novels. Maybe in another few centuries, archaeologists will find books filled with pure fiction, mistake them for rare historical records, and draw all kinds of conclusions from them.
Oh, shit.
Perhaps by then, the truth of the past will be consumed as entertaining fiction. Its only purpose, to meet people's need for novelty, save for the sneering of the kitsune. All that will remain is the despairing sighs of the long-forgotten.
Wait, what a point to bring up, Dane. Okay. I love these. These are always so pretty.
Why do I feel like the standard of writing is going down by the day? Are my editors even doing their jobs? Huh? Ooh, this one's interesting. I won't be bored out of my mind tonight after all.
What do you think, Lady Guji? Erika's got some cooking skills, huh?
The fried tofu is cooked to perfection, tender and juicy. The kushikatsu are freshly made and the taste is quite to my liking. I'll take a few boxes worth to go, please.
Lady Guji is this world's best editor, if you ask me.
She's a crafty fox who's always playing mind games.
Truth be told, Yae Miko is an outstanding shrine maiden.
Hey, she's that fox lady I ate ramen with that time.
She's the scary lady who forces me to go to work.
A few hundred years on, and the little girl that always wanted shoulder rides is all grown up.
Wow.
of Inkanomiya is engulfed in a darkness that cannot be dispelled. There have also been reports of monsters, the likes of which no one has ever seen before.
Strange monsters? And an all-engulfing darkness?
So you're here to help resolve this, hmm?
Whoa.
You're joining forces with them. I would say this is a nice surprise, but it's really not that surprising.
Inkanomiya is exceedingly dangerous right now.
Here's hoping I have the chance.
This tower seems to hear my wishes.
There's darkness churning inside the Dainichi Mikoshi!
Do not come any closer.
Holy shit.
Do you honestly have another choice?
Wait, oh, wait. Does that have anything to do with this?
Cause of this enchantment.
Your unrivaled power will be honored eternally.
Okay, I haven't really fully been to I haven't been to Inkanomiya yet, so
All right, little one.
I don't know what any of that was.
Nervous.
Now you've got my attention.
Oh, she was released during this patch or this event.
Right now. Come on out. Is that all? I'm always watching.
Good! With this power, no one shall be able to stand in my way!
It looks like she will no longer allow me to do
Oh,
with this
and
body
right
as
in
I
second
please.
quest too, huh?
Something seems wrong with A.
During my absence, I place everything in Miko's hands.
But this means that...
I'm placing my god in your capable hands. Please, bring her back.
You wish to make yourself my enemy?
How the heck?
I am the everlasting Lord, the guardian of eternity.
Okay.
Inferior! Perish!
This is the boss fight.
Ruin follows my blade. Witness the final calamity!
Wow. All right then. All right, Yae Miko, also known as Guji Yae, or the Guji, is playable electro character. Okay. A kitsune of many facets, Yae Miko oversees the Grand Narukami Shrine, owns Yae Publishing House, and is Eternity's servant and friend. Let's go ahead and look at the shrine. The Grand Narukami Shrine is a sub-area located in Narukami Island in Izuma. It is a religious organization that worships the Electro Archon and leads the Narukami people's faith. The shrine is located at the peak of Mount Yogu. Yae Miko is the head of the shrine and is considered the most experienced member. The use of military force is not permitted around the areas of the Grand Narukami Shrine, as it dishonors the shogun herself. Thus, the shrine is not under the jurisdiction of the shogunate, but still under the authority of the Electro Archon, whom the shrine worships. The shrine has several responsibilities, which includes assisting visitors who come to the shrine to pray to the Archon, protecting the sacred Sakura. You know what? Let's look at that too, just so we can get a refresher from the quest. The sacred Sakura tree is located in the shrine. Okay. Offering electro sigils. Okay, is there lore? Descriptions. The sacred Sakura tree that protects Inazuma Towers proudly over the Grand Narukami Shrine. Its offshoots can be found all over the land. In the past, the Inazumans believed that the sacred Sakura tree would cleanse the land of its impurity through the Thunder Sakura, defending the safety of earth and water alike. The sacred Sakura bestows Electrograna as its envoys to travelers that it favors, helping them to conquer adversity. Lore. The sacred Sakura is a tree that represents the power of the Electro Archon. Its roots have spread extensively throughout Inazuma, and the Thunder Sakura were grafted from its side branches. The Sacred Sakura and the Thunder Sakura remove evil and purify the land by absorbing filth into its roots. However, the accumulated filth in the roots does not dissipate on its own, so it is necessary to routinely perform a Sacred Sakura cleansing ritual to purify the filth. The Sacred Sakura grew from a seed given from Makoto to Ei after Ei's present-day duel against the Shogun within Makoto's realm of consciousness. Having been unable to slowly ease Ei into the role of Electro Archon before her death in Conria during the Cataclysm 500 years ago, Makoto inserted a portion of her consciousness into the Muso Ishin, waiting for the day Ei could draw on its power and release her consciousness. Within this realm, the seed Ei planted retroactively took root in Inazuma's past, allowing it to grow so it could protect Inazuma, while Ei eased into her role naturally. Ei speculates that Makoto's plan involved a higher power, Istaroth. Alright, and then let's go ahead and look at the Thunder Sakura as well. Large tree trunks infused with, 5... overview. The Thunder Sakura are believed to symbolize the Electro Archon's eternal watch over Inazuma and purify evil by absorbing filth from the land. Okay, there's side branches, we read that. If too much filth accumulates, the roots will begin to corrode and form tumors. Thus, it is necessary to routinely perform the cleansing ritual. The Thunder Sakura are either guarding or suppressing something located under the trees, which is why the Grand Narukami Shrine grew concerned over their condition and Miyuki was dispatched to investigate. The 5 Thunder Sakura trees are not difficult to find. You just have to follow the western shoreline from the northmost point of the Kujo encampment islet to northernmost point of Tadatsuna. You'll encounter 3 of them that way. As for the other 2, one is on the mountain northwest of Tadatsuna, the other is on another mountain to the southwest. Okay. No little lore bits? Okay. Sacred Sakura and Thunder Sakura, as well as performing rituals and ceremonial affairs, such as the cleansing ritual. Alright, this is one of the world quests, but let's just do a quick summary of it in case some of you are rusty on the details of it. It's a series of world quests. Okay, it's the name of the ritual performed to purify the accumulated filth. Okay, summary. Upon the traveler and Paimon's arrival at Kond Village, they encounter a strange masked shrine maiden who introduces herself as Hanachiro Sato and gives the traveler a word. She asks the traveler to lift a barrier and investigate it and promises a reward for the traveler. The traveler then goes around the village and talks to the various villagers. After some key investigation, they unlock a seal. After this, they use the ward from Hanachiro Sato to lift the barrier, and Ochimusha appears and is defeated by the traveler. Then you get to talking, and the traveler then travels to an abandoned shrine near Mount Yogu after interacting with some mysterious shadows and obtaining the Sacred Sakura cleansing summary. However, this summary does not provide much help, and so the traveler and Paimon travel to the Grand Narukami Shrine to get professional help. After learning more about the ritual and obtaining the memento lens from Inagi Hotomi, the traveler travels back to the abandoned shrine and they obtain the ward to lift the barrier. Once the barrier is lifted, the traveler defeats another Ochimusha, and Hanachiro Sato appears again to have another conversation about the ritual. Next, the traveler completes the rituals in Arumi Kame State, and Chinju Forest. They meet Tsubake Tanuki. After playing with several Tanuki, they agree to give the traveler the ward. Finally, after breaking the 5 barriers and purging the evil within, each, Hanachiro Sato and the traveler head over to the roots of the Sacred Sakura. She dispels the barrier around the depths of Mount Yogu, draining the electro pool, and the traveler enters the depths to defeat the miasmic tumor. After purging the tumor, Hanachiro Sato appears again and reveals that she is filth condensed from the memory of the Kitsune Saigu. In order to complete the ritual, all the filth must be cleansed, herself being no exception. The traveler and Hanachiro Sato say goodbye to each other, and she dissipates. Lore, the Sacred Sakura and the Thunder Sakura symbolize the eternal watch of the Electro Archon, and they have the power to remove evil and cleanse the earth by absorbing the filth into the roots. However, the roots are not capable of purifying the accumulated filth on their own, hence the ritual is needed, and is ordinarily performed by the Grand Narukami Shrine. The roots of the Sacred Sakura and the Thunder Sakura are all interconnected, and should the roots be polluted, the filth will spread among all the roots. If too much filth accumulates, the polluted roots will be corroded, and these tainted sections will form tumors, and if left unchecked, the Sacred Sakura will wither away, which would be catastrophic for Inazuma. Thus, it becomes necessary to routinely perform a cleansing ritual. The cleansing ritual is divided into minor and major cleansings. Performed more often than the major cleansings, the minor cleansings are routinely performed to check in on the status of the roots and set up barriers around the roots. These barriers both protect the roots from the people and protect the people from the roots. The barriers protect the roots from anyone with malicious intent, like the Fatui, and also protect the Inazuman people by preventing any of the accumulated filth from leaking out. Once too much filth accumulates within the barriers, it becomes necessary to perform the major cleansing. This major cleansing must be performed every 60 years. The Sacred Sakura located at the Grand Narukami Shrine is the central tree, and all the Thunder Sakura are its side branches. When the Thunder Sakura absorb filth, much of the absorbed miasma will be transmitted up the roots to the central roots of the Sacred Sakura. Thus, it is necessary to perform the major cleansing in two parts. First, purify the leftover miasma in the roots of the Thunder Sakura, then purify the central roots of the Sacred Sakura. This purification is performed by breaking the barriers created by the minor cleansings with a ward, which will cause the filth to be driven out of the roots and condense into physical forms known as defilement incarnate. These forms represent the defilement of the land. Should the state of Inazuma be peaceful and happy, then they may condense into harmless forms such as the Tofu Boys, but in times of strife, the filth will condense into something dangerous and must be swiftly neutralized. Once the Thunder Sakura roots have been purified, then the roots of the Sacred Sakura tree must be purified by the same process. Once the barrier around the Sacred Sakura roots has been lifted, the ritual performers must enter the depths of Mount Yogu to purify the filth, which typically condenses into a tumor. If the cleansing ritual is not performed, then Inazuma will suffer catastrophic consequences. According to Hanachiro Sato, the records say that the Thunder Sakura almost withered several hundred years ago. The monsters raged unchecked, and the seas around Inazuma turned black. The Thunder Sakura tried their hardest to absorb the evil and the filth, and they almost died in the process. The records say that someone did eventually perform the cleansing ritual, and the situation was resolved. The most recent performance of the cleansing ritual was carried out by the traveler and Hanachiro Sato. According to Inagi Hotomi, the Grand Narukami Shrine was making preparations to carry out the cleansing ritual, but Yae Miko had those preparations called off and told Inagi Hotomi to have the memento lens ready to give to a blonde-haired outlander when they arrive at the shrine. Okay. Just a short recap of that world quest. All right. According to Inagi Hotomi, many of the visitors prayed for the Sakoko decree to be lifted as it has caused them economic hardship. The Grand Narukami Shrine was built before the Archon War, and Hakushin served as its first attendant. Hakushin. Let's go ahead and read about that. Hakushin was a historical figure in Inazuma who lived far in the past. She was a kitsune and the matriarch of the Hakushin clan. The kitsune Saigu and Yae Miko are among her descendants. Hakushin was the matriarch and namesake of the Hakushin clan, a prominent kitsune clan in Inazuma that dwelt around Mount Yogu. The Grand Narukami Shrine is implied to have already existed during Hakushin's lifetime, and she managed the shrine along with her apprentices. She had 6 apprentices, the eldest of which was the Black Fox Itaru. Hakushin is referenced in the title of the soundtrack, Hakushin's Lullaby. She is most likely inspired by the Buddhist goddess Dakini and her Shinto manifestation Inari, a deity of agricultural fertility whose divine messengers are foxes. Originated as a minor spirit from the demonic clan in the ancient Indian mythology, Dakini gradually gained prominence in Mahayana Buddhism. Finally, under the syncretism of Shinto and Buddhism, she became equated with Inari, one of the most famed deities in Japan. In the canonical beliefs of Shinto, foxes are merely the messengers of Inari, and they themselves are not involved with the fox beyond that. In folk legends, however, Inari is commonly considered to be a fox goddess, and her messengers, Byakko, are also casually called O Inari-sama, polite form of Inari. Etymology: one of Dakini's sacred titles in Japan is Byakushin Kou, Bosatsu. Bosatsu, which means White Dawn Fox Queen, Bodhisattva. Oh goodness. The first two characters are sometimes written a certain way, which is the name for Genshin's Hakushin, and Hakushin is the kanon reading for the names. Okay. So let's go ahead and skip back to the Narukami page. Hakushin served as its first attendant. Around 500 years ago, the shrine was led by Kitsune Saigu and the great Tengu, the chieftain of the Yogu Tengu. The shrine priestess Asase Hibiki and the Tengu Teryo also dwelt there for a time. Okay, let's look at Hibiki. Asase Hibiki was a shrine maiden who lived around 500 years ago. She traveled from the Asase Shrine on Serai Island to the Grand Narukami Shrine on Narukami Island to develop her techniques as a shrine maiden. She was the mentee of the Kitsune Saigu, as well as the love interest of Takamine, the Mist Splitter. Takamine and the Kitsune Saigu's disappearances over the course of the Cataclysm deeply affected Hibiki and several others who were associated with them. Shimenawa's remnants and the Storm Cage piece in Emblem of Severed Fate are told from Hibiki's point of view. She was also the wielder of Hamayumi and came into the possession of Thundering Pulse as part of her wager with Takamine. Personality: in her younger years, Hibiki was something of a country bumpkin, with the obstinate impulsiveness and curiosity of a child, constantly skeptical of Kitsune Saigu's enigmatic words. She was also something of a tsundere towards Takamine, calling him an idiot and a rude and reckless brute to hide her feelings for him. Lady Neko would eventually name cats Konbumaru, because she knew from Hibiki's facial expression when she mentioned the name that it was something positive. Akodomeki affectionately called her naggy and fretful. Story: in her youth, Hibiki went from the Asase Shrine to the Narukami Shrine. While initially distrustful of the Kitsune Saigu, she eventually came to hold great respect for the other woman. She also became acquainted with Takamine, who she called the idiot Konbumaru, to hide her affection towards him. Nonetheless, the attraction was mutual and the two grew close. He taught her the Tengu archery he had learned, while she made an undisclosed promise to him. Takamine eventually became a hatamoto for the Raiden Shogun Ball. Despite his attraction to Hibiki, he married a high-ranking samurai's daughter instead, much to Hibiki's consternation. Okay, yeah. He never lost his habit of wandering or gambling despite his rank and martial status. The Cataclysm. When the Cataclysm befell the land and dark forces threatened all of Teyvat, Takamine and Chiyo of the Mikoshi clan were among those who embarked on an expedition alongside Ball to the Abyss. He promised his future to Hibiki by entrusting his bow to her as a wager for his triumphant return. However, this would never come to pass. Takamine disappeared in battle. Chiyo was consumed by a beast of sin, and despite emerging victorious against the creature, went mad and drew her blade on Ball. This betrayal tarnished the Mikoshi clan's reputation, leading her biological son, Michihiro, to abandon his family name. We read about that in Raiden's video. And her adoptive son, Mikoshi Nagamasa, to join the shogunate to restore his family's honor. The Kitsune Saigu, too, disappeared and eventually perished against the dark forces. The great Tengu, who had been the Kitsune Saigu's protector, went on a self-imposed exile for her failure, and Kamuna Harunosuke left Inazuma out of his grief and rage. After the Cataclysm, note the order in which the following events occurred is currently unknown. Sometime after the events of the Cataclysm ended, Takamine finally emerged from the abyss, possibly corrupted, and returned to Inazuma to fulfill his promise to reunite with Hibiki, but Hibiki slew him with her bow. Hibiki appears to have viewed this act as saving him. Later, Hibiki would retire back to her birthplace at Serai Island. There, she managed the smaller Asase Shrine with the help of Lady Neko, as well as the pirate captain Akodomeki. She told them stories of her past and of her wish to go see the world, though she never mentioned the tragic endings of Takamine and her other friends. During Domeki's and Serai Island's rebellion against the shogunate several years after the Cataclysm, Hibiki chose to assist him due to their friendship and his resemblance to Takamine. She decided to use the true magic she learned from the Yogu Tengu to unseal the Great Barrier containing the resentment of the Violet Glade and use it to destroy the shogunate's ships. This decision resulted in the catastrophe that caused the massive electrostorm over Serai Island, and may have eventually cost Hibiki her life as she never returned from that storm. While Akodomeki and his fleet also went into the storm, Domeki and some of his crew survived. His chief mate, Janome, and the ship carrying the Magu Kenki he defeated were blown away to the Golden Apple Archipelago while protecting him. What exactly happened to Domeki is unknown, but he eventually made his way back to Serai Island only to find it in its current inhospitable state. He made a vow to Janome and Hibiki to live as the freest person in the world and experience the world like Hibiki had always wished to, and set off for parts unknown. Trivia: because the kanji used for Hibiki's name has multiple possible readings, the English localization and some other localizations initially translated her name as Kanade. Kanade? In version 2.1, the English localization switched to using Hibiki. Akodomeki addresses Asase as his aunt, but it is left ambiguous whether the two are actually blood related or if he is using an affectionate term out of courtesy for an older woman. Wow, how dramatic. That sounds like quite a lot. Let's also check out Teruo over here. Teruo was a Tengu of Mount Yogu who lived around the same time of the Cataclysm 500 years ago. She was close with Iwakura Michihiro, whose Iwakura name she bestowed on him to distance him from the Mikoshi clan. Teruo was born to the great Tengu, Raizembo, sometime before the Cataclysm and was raised in Mount Yogu. After the Kitsune Saigu disappeared and died during the Cataclysm, Raizembo, who had been serving as the Kitsune Saigu's protector, went into self-exile out of shame and rage. Teruo remained on Narukami Island. Around the same time of the Kitsune Saigu's disappearance, the Oni maiden Chiyo was corrupted by an abyssal beast, turned her blade on Shogun. This stained the reputation of her family. We read about this. 13 years after Teruo first met Doke, he finally managed to best her in their duel by grazing her wing. As promised, she granted him the title of Tengu Victor, but afterwards announced that she had to stay true to her duties to the Tengu and bid farewell to him forever, asking him to forget about her. In the description of Emblem of Severed Fates, Sundered Feather artifact, Teruo tells Doke, "Thinking back, I changed your name in hopes that you might escape from the curse of the Oni bloodline." In Magnificent Tsuba's description, Teruo explains the name Iwakura to mean seat of rock. The character is also used both in real life and in Genshin to denote a constellation's name. Alright, back to the shrine page. Tengu dwelt there. Asase Hibiki took over the shrine after Saigu's death, but ultimately moved back to the Asase Shrine during Akodomeki's rebellion. So let's scroll down and see if there's any other extra lore bits we can get. These are the quests, descriptions, lore, here we go. Most shrine maidens across Inazuma, excluding Watatsumi Island, obviously, are trained at the Grand Narukami Shrine, and are ultimately affiliated with the Grand Shrine above all others. Their tending to personal shrines has to do with keeping the shrines aligned with the Grand Narukami Shrine. Alright, so these are all the members. Trivia. Mentioned, Etymology. Narukami, roaring god, is a synonym for the thunder deity Raijin in Shinto, and may refer to the Raiden Shogun in this case. The shrine is most probably based on several important Shinto shrines in Japan. Jingu, informally the Ise Grand Shrine, the holiest shrine in Shinto, whose goddess is the chief of heavenly deities. It has been worshipped by the Imperial House of Japan. The goddess and the emperors probably inspired the Raiden Shogun, whose constellation in the English version means the Shadow Empress in Latin. In addition, its high priestesses were known as Saigu, who likely inspired the Kitsune Saigu in this game. Izumo Grand Shrine, the second holiest shrine in Shinto, whose god is the chief of terrestrial deities. It is also the most sacred Shinto shrine, whose official name includes the term Grand Shrine. In addition, the Japanese version of the game uses the wording Oyashiro for Grand Shrine, which is specific to this shrine. Other Grand Shrines usually read the kanji as Taisha. Fushimi Inari Grand Shrine, a shrine dedicated to the agricultural deity Inari. Inari and their divine foxes often appear as fox goddesses in folklore, who likely inspired Kitsune characters in this game, such as the Kitsune Saigu and Yae Miko. The shrine is also famous for the row of red torii gates, which is featured in the in-game shrine. Sengen Grand Shrine, a pair of shrines located nearby and on Mount Fuji, the highest mountain in Japan. Its primary deity is the goddess of sakura trees. The geography and the sacred sakura of the in-game shrine may be partially inspired by this shrine. Super cool. Okay, all the way back to Yae's page, let's go ahead and look at Yae Publishing House. Just to read up on this, since Yae is so closely tied to this. Yae Publishing House is a point of interest located in Inazuma City. It is referred to as a giant of the Inazuma publishing industry. It periodically holds competition called This Novel is Amazing and is renowned throughout Teyvat. Its boss and founder is Yae Miko, the chief priestess of the Grand Narukami Shrine. Singcho and Albedo's collaboration... Wait, what? On The Legend of Sword is not affiliated with Yae Publishing House. However, as a result, the book's popularity in Inazuma and Fontaine, the Yae Publishing House has attempted to contract Albedo's artistic talents. Okay, I don't know anything about that. That must be in either Albedo's quest or maybe an event, but I'm sure I'll learn about that a little later. Okay, we got all these books. Oh boy, I want to read all of these at some point. Okay, interactables, publications, employees. Okay, trivia. This novel is amazing as a reference to the Japanese light novel writing competition called Kono Light Novel ga Sugoi, in which winners of the competition have received anime adaptations that have become some of the most popular anime in the history of Japanese animation. In the Chinese language version of the game, the quest and competition, This Novel is Amazing, are named identically to the Chinese name of the Japanese writing competition. Oh, okay. Based on the editor's note at the end of Legend of the Shattered Halberd, the flowers for Princess Fischl series that Fischl derives her persona from, is published by the Yae Publishing House. The Yae Publishing House was established no more than 500 years ago. Some books published by the Yae Publishing House can only be obtained as quest items. Some books published by the house are only mentioned and cannot be obtained by the player. Teyvat Art of War, numerous works that lay out military strategy in a simple and pragmatic way. The good thing about being reincarnated as a hilichurl is that I only need to eat Sansetias to become stronger. Life made me a fighter when I just want to be a writer. The chaotic epic that is the tale of my youthful love life. Yae Publishing House is mentioned in the descriptions, of some furnishing items. Okay, cool. Well, let's go ahead and read, finally get to her actual character stories. The head shrine maiden of the Grand Narukami Shrine, descendant of Hakushin's lineage, Eternity's servant and friend, and the intimidating editor-in-chief of Yae Publishing House, a publisher of light novels. Come to think of it, Yae Miko's nicknames are as myriad as her changeable moods. The number of people who have tried to figure her out for various reasons could fill the streets from the Tenryo Commission Estate to Yae Publishing House if you were to line them all up. But to this day, very few indeed have succeeded. Not that Miko has ever intended to conceal anything, of course. Any capriciousness is but the result of doing as she wills and pleases. A riddle with no solution is no riddle at all. in any case. You just need to remember that she will always be none other than the wise and beautiful Yae Miko. Character Story 1, Friendship 2. Yae Publishing House's editors once submitted a certain manuscript to the editor-in-chief. This work was well written, clearly thought out, and the themes were romance with a side of comedy. A prime slice of the Zeitgeist. Such a gem would surely require but a thin coat of polish and a few beautiful illustrations to sell well. But unexpectedly, Yae Miko did not seem pleased with this, instead having a deep sigh before calling for the various head editors. One of them asked hesitantly, "Lady Yae, I did ask him to write on this topic, yes, but isn't this the hot genre of the day?" Faced with the editor's doubtful gaze, Miko gave her opinion forthrightly. That a book should have been interesting, yet was shackled at every turn by the topic was, simply put, not free enough. Things like top sellers, genre fiction, these were not but fads that would come and go every decade. Getting with the times was a shortcut, yes, but if a work had the quality that could surmount this tide, why go with the flow nonetheless? Pass this message to this new author of ours. Tell him that there's no need to bother about genre. He just needs to write his story and write it well. Upon hearing this, the author stopped writing for a time, as if suddenly having an epiphany. Several months later, a new manuscript was sent to Miko and her editors. The latter was stunned, and even Yae Miko, who cared little about taboos, furrowed her brows slightly, a rare sight indeed. What do we do? This isn't good. Exactly. I mean, there's not being concerned about genre, and then there's something like Shogun Almighty reborn as Raiden. This is just too much. Genre? No. There's no problem with that. It's his pen name I'm worried about. It's too normal for a book like this. Huh? So that was what you were concerned about? No, never mind. As long as you're happy, Lady Yae. Not long after, the author of this book would take to the literary stage with the Yae Miko approved and overly long pen name Kare no Koji Kenzaburo. As to how the editor-in-chief got the idea to start a Reborn as Guji Yae writing submission event, that would be a tale for another day. Character Story 2. If there was something inconvenient about the Guji, it is that she must attend every shrine ceremony, dressed up to the nines and in her proper place in the sanctuary. The fireworks paint the night skies as they blossom, and the sounds of human merriment fill the shrine, and yet she must sit within, a solemn smile on her face. Such tragedies are even more frightful to Miko than the possible wholesale disappearance of fried tofu from Teyvat. With the somewhat longer span of years that the Electro Archon servants have, 100 years pass in the blink of an eye. As the years fly by, Borden becomes the greatest foe, and if even she were, Archon forbid, one day to accept sitting quietly still, obstinate as deadwood, would the world now sorely lack for another clever person adept at discovering fun and grasping opportunity? As such, looking for fun things to do in every nook and cranny can only be the most reasonable and necessary course. And if she were to, say, utilize her authority as Guji in making fun things happen, why, some things are unavoidable, are they not? On the day of the festival, Guji Yae would nod in satisfaction as she received a delivery of fireworks from the Yashihiro Commission of Naganohara construction and specially made to boot. That night's ceremony was, of course, performed with perfect respect to all etiquette and rites. The sight of the Lady Guji kneeling gracefully the whole night through would be the object of awe for all the other shrine maidens. In the meantime, she would sit beneath the meteor shower of light adorning the skies, watching the festival goers as they came and went. And the din of the fireworks covered the mumbling that came between teeth chewing on candy apple. You know, when you asked me to become Guji, you never mentioned that I'd only ever be able to sneak outside to watch the festivities from then on. Character Story 3. Pursuing fun and finding happiness is how Miko lives her everyday life. For someone who enjoys studying humanity like her, perspectives and virtue play distant second fiddles to fun. Even a great shrine maiden of a different faith or an enemy general might pique her interest. That said, this appreciation can sometimes lead to innocuous trouble. As opposed to those contentious underlings or worshipful juniors, Miko's favorite person at the shrine is a shrine maiden named Kanonana. Yes, that Kanonana, the novel enthusiast, just like Miko, who constantly frets over Sayu. While laying about indoors, Miko would often see Sayu flash past the window, followed not long after by a hurried and angry Kanonana. Like lightning and thunder they were, which caught Miko's attention, to the point where she would even sometimes give wrong directions just to let the ruckus go on for a little longer. There was another time where Sayu told Miko that the afternoon sun was the most pleasant after the latter had helped her steal some time for napping. Perhaps encouraged by these words, Miko would transform into an ordinary Inuzuman lady on a wonderful sunny afternoon, descend from the mountain and have a day out. Aisa bathhouse in the city, Hanamizaka's Kiminyami restaurant, Ogura textiles and kimonos by the street side, she did not miss a single store, and everyone was an enjoyable experience. And in the evening, she was at Bantan Sango Detective Agency to tell them of a missing animals case that she had heard about on the way. But you really must help, good detectives. I mean, one can barely stand to watch those owners cry their eyes out as it is. Having done all this, the lady would not help but let slip a pleased smile. Taking part in Inuzuma's daily life in such an identity was really fun. Well, except that part where Kujosara shot her a suspicious glance as they passed each other by. Right, and also, she probably owed the boss of Aisa Bathhouse an apology. The Outland-styled hot springs were indeed very good, but she might have accidentally shed some fox fur during the soak. Character Story 4. A long time ago, humanity did not use the phrase "a long time ago" to preface tales about yokai. The Tengu dominated the skies, the Oni swept across the battlefield, the Tanuki were seen along small paths, and the Kitsune walked amongst humans. Under the banner of Narukami, the incredible powers of the yokai host were used to help humans through an era of strife and poverty. Seeking refuge in the mountains, they built a city by the sea, and so began Inazuma. Amongst the yokai, the lineage of Hakushin Kitsune was the most revered, and it was this great line that left great many tales amongst humans. Whenever the yokai gathered to feast and sup together, a little braggadocio about how their latest exploits had become legend anew was very much a given. Of course, considering the amount they would drink, most tales told afterward would diverge a little from the truth, but no one minded, asking only that the tale be interesting. As time passed, this became known as Hyakumonogatari Daikai, or the Great Meeting of 100 Tales. It was no uncommon sight to see Urukusai raise his cup and speak, holding all the other yokai spellbound with his story, drawing even smiles from Kitsune Saigu, the organizer of the event. Alright, let's go ahead and read up on Urakusai. Since he was in the quest. He was a kitsune in Inazuma known for his literary works, including the original chronicles of the 6 kitsune. He was an associate of Kitsune Saigu's up until 500 years ago. While it is unknown what exactly he did, his actions apparently may have contributed to the Abyss's invasion of Teyvat during the Cataclysm. During the Kitsune Saigu's time, she took an interest in Urakusai's literary abilities and tastes in tea. As a result, Urakusai became famed as one of the most cultured and sophisticated of all the kitsune, by the time the author of New Chronicles of the 6 Kitsune was born. It is unknown how long Urakusai has lived, but he recounted tales from the era of Hakushin, the matriarch of the Hakushin clan, and her apprentices. 500 years ago, before the start of the Cataclysm, Urakusai made a mistake that greatly incited the Kitsune Saigu's wrath. She banished him to parts unknown, then left the Grand Narukami Shrine to reside in Tenshukaku, predicting the impending catastrophe and deciding that she had to stay close to A to better protect Inazuma. Urakusai's fate after his banishment is unknown, although the author of New Chronicles believes that whatever he did 500 years ago was connected to the Abyss. Eventually, Urakusai died, and his memories were absorbed into the ley lines in the sacred sakura's roots. His spirit remained dormant until recently, when he heard a down-on-his-luck light novelist named Tomoyuki yell, "Please, someone, anyone, help me write a truly amazing novel." Urakusai's curiosity was piqued, and he possessed Tomoyuki and wrote the light novel, A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits. He included a real summoning incantation in the novel, so that anyone who tried out the incantation would be possessed by Urakusai's fellow yokai spirits, who would be able to walk the mortal realm for a couple of days. The possession incidents caught the attention of the traveler, Paimon, and Yae Miko, who arranged a ritual to summon Urakusai by having him possess the traveler's body. After catching up with Miko, Urakusai returned to whence he came. Okay. Interesting. That bit about the abyss and like what he did, that's really interesting. I wonder if we're ever going to learn more about that. Instead, it was Miko, who was then in the form of a young kitsune, who would perch on Kitsune Saigu's shoulder and relentlessly peck at any loopholes in Urakusai's story. Urakusai, being a cool-headed and brilliant gentleman, would explain as he twirled his beard, but Miko could always find something new to nitpick, and so they would go back and forth until Lady Saigu would smile and call both parties to a halt. The audience wanted to hear the next part, after all. After another 3 rounds of drink and several more rounds of stories, the company would be hard-pressed to even string a sentence together, let alone a story. And so the gathered yokai would dispense with the word fencing and use their powers to take to the skies to see who could best cover the sky and moon with their powers. And thus it was said that 100 yokai shall parade upon a moonless night. 500 years on, that little kitsune has already become a mighty yokai in her own right. As for the yokai who drank with them in those days, they disappeared amidst war and history, and their remaining bloodlines grow thinner by the day. And thus did their great parade, the Hyakayako, become something that happened a long, long time ago. Character Story 5. The swords of Inazuma have always been famous with the world over, and the best works of the Raiden Gokaden in particular are national treasures. However, only a short time ago, more than half of the 5 artisan lineages were cut off. A great number of powerful people were caught up in that conspiracy, and those responsible were all called to account and banished. Even the Yashihiro Commission's Kamisato clan was implicated due to their failure in supervising their subordinates. But before the shogun could give her final judgment, the Lady Guji, who usually did not meddle in government affairs, suddenly interceded, rescuing the Kamisato clan in their hour of peril. Thus, while they suffered a serious blow, they were spared from dismissal. In the years that followed, others would speculate greatly concerning the Guji's actions. Some observed the close relations between the Yashihiro Commission and the Grand Narukami Shrine, and guessed that she had intended to foster advocates loyal to her. And yet, the shrine had always been an entity unto itself, and the Lady Guji did not usually meddle in governance. Thus, this action seemed a sacrifice greater than the reward, hardly a wise decision. Some others said that the Guji suspected something to be wrong with the whole situation, and now that the list of those involved was so extensive, any major shakeup in the Yashihiro Commission could destabilize Inazuma itself. This thought, too, seemed reasonable on face, yet did not stand up to scrutiny. After all, was not the rise and fall of great houses merely ordinary in the grand scheme of mortal affairs? And even if the Kamisato were to fall from grace, new leadership for the Yashihiro Commission would emerge. Yet another story said that Miko engaged in secret talks with the Kamisato clan head just after the initial shockwaves had died down. But the wounded clan was like a candle in the wind at this point. What power could they have to change the situation? To this day, all these speculations have never amounted to anything, nor have any answers emerged concerning Miko's actions and motivations. But what none know is how Miko's words that day would become as engraved into the Kamisato clan as their house's crest. That the Kamisato clan has survived this incident is only due to the shogun's mercy. Do not forget this in the days that follow. These words would serve as a seed of destiny, foreshadowing the Yashihiro Commission's future position. In some other time, if a storm were to descend upon Inazuma, and even if they were to come into conflict with the other 2 commissions, the Yashihiro Commission's Kamisato clan would remember their favor they were shown and abide the shogun's path to eternity. This was a move that the Guji played with no regrets whatsoever. Fire Soothing Festival Committee, Friendship Level 4. The Fire Soothing Festival Committee was once an organization chaired by the Tenryou Commission and managed by the Grand Narukami Shrine, whose remit was to pray for a lack of any fires in the coming year. In those days, Inazuman houses were mostly made of wood, and any carelessness while handling fire could lead to disaster. Thus, the Tenryou Commission was charged by the shogun with setting up fire brigades to conduct rescues and damage control when fires did break out, and they also requested that the Grand Narukami Shrine set the Fire Soothing Festival Committee up to comfort the frightened people. In later years, anti-fire precautions would become second nature and serious cases would no longer occur often, but still, the annual festival would remain. The shrine maidens would dance elegantly and the people would give generously, with the proceeds split 40-60 between the commission and the shrine. When Yae Miko was faced with financial issues while attempting to start Yae Publishing House, she considered the various services that the shrine ran at the time before locking onto this ancient traditional committee. I mean, the busy work is solely done by the Grand Narukami Shrine, so why do we have to split the proceeds with the Tenryou Commission? What's more, all that more is just going into Kujo Sr.'s pockets. It's not like the Fire Brigade has ever gotten a year-end bonus or anything. As such, after some preparation, the Fire Soothing Festival of that year would be changed to no longer feature dancing shrine maidens, but a grand rollicking light novel submission contest. The organizing body for this competition and any subsequent publications, the Yae Publishing House would also borrow the Fire Soothing Festival Committee's budget. As for the profits, into the shrine's coffers they went. Well, we no longer have many fires, and yet our budget keeps increasing. Thus, this restructuring relieves the financial burden placed upon the people. Also, the study of lore and the writing of literature and poetry is also a way of pleasing our Archon. Surely you do not claim to know more of ritual and ceremony than I. That was what Yae Miko said most solemnly to Kujo Takayuki when he came by unannounced. The Tenryou Commissioner was ultimately forced to leave the way he came, stormy-faced along with his attendants. Little did any of them know that the moment they stepped out of the shrine, the somber Lady Miko would pluck a novel manuscript from the nearby offering box and continue annotating it. Vision. That was a contest of magic for the ages. The foes split the seas as they strode across the skies, heaven and earth changing hue as they approached. Gohei in hand, the Lady Guji was solemn as she strode up Mount Yogu. All around her, the shrine maidens chanted their mantras as the clouds masked the sun, the thunder waiting within for the moments to strike. The battle was a grinding, protracted affair. In time, even the Guji began to falter, and the enemies seized that opening, lashing out with great force. Just then, a bolt of lightning descended like a falling star before the Guji, a glimmering vision. Grasping it in her hand, the revivified Guji showed forth her power. And now just wait a minute, none of what you just said happened, right? Well, how about this then? It all started the day when I had a most vicious ramen duel down in Hanamizaka. Oh come on, nobody's ever gotten a vision from eating ramen. But wouldn't that be interesting? I mean, these are the sorts of stories you like to hear, right? Yae Miko gave a thin, enigmatic smile as she was faced with the traveler's curiosity. After all, would you believe me if I said that my vision is purely ornamental, just for show, little one? Hardly. Not even if it were true. Okay. Name card. Where can Yae Miko's fox form be found? In your dreams. That's where. Divine Fox is the meaning of her constellation. Okay, let's listen to a couple of these voiceovers. We've already heard Ito's.
I crushed that Kitsune ramen eating contest we had. Even all that fried tofu couldn't stand in my way. She didn't come close to beating me. I was, bedridden for more than a month after that. But you know what? I'd rather lie in bed a winner than walk away a loser. So, anyway, I had the last laugh because she had to foot the bill for 32 bowls of noodles. Ha ha!
Okay. We haven't heard Goro's.
Oh, her. I'd prefer not to talk about her. Can we change the topic? Or if there are any tasks I can take off your hand, I'll gladly oblige. Anything at all. Let's just say it'd be best for my general well-being if we can avoid talking about her.
He sounds so much different in English, but why does he sound scared of her? What the heck?
I've always greatly enjoyed working with Guji Yae. Organizing festival affairs generally takes a lot of effort and doesn't generate much income. But Guji Yae's events always come off both elegant and profitable.
That was very diplomatic of her to say.
Lady Guji has been kind to us in the Kamisato clan, but she has never quite taken to me personally. I trust you'll have heard the way she refers to me, the Yashiro rascal, and other such flattering monikers. We run into each other semi-regularly, given the overlap in our work, and despite whatever private thoughts we each may have, our working relationship is quite a harmonious one. I have no great objection to this state of affairs. Working with intelligent people always makes things highly efficient. In any case, however objectionable she might find me, she would be forced to admit that without me, she would have no one to help execute her weird and wonderful ideas.
We already heard this last episode. Okay, Kujo-Sara.
Guji Yae's actions often leave me with many questions. Nevertheless, the fact that she is the head shrine maiden of the Grand Narukami Shrine clearly shows the level of trust and approval that the Shogun places in her, and for this reason, I also greatly respect her. But if there ever comes a day when she disobeys the Shogun's will, then please accept my apologies in advance.
Please. Please. Let's cool it.
You can't imagine how boring it is to be a shrine maiden. Even Lady Guji from the Grand Narukami Shrine has her publishing gig to break up the monotony. I will never go back to being a shrine maiden. Never.
Oh my gosh, wow. This sounds like there's a lot of baggage there.
Ah, that girl. She used to be the kind of person who could easily be swayed with some fried tofu. It's a relief to see how shrewd and resourceful she's now become. Still, I have to admit that I was a little upset to become the target of her scheming myself. I know it was for my own good, but I'm afraid she will mock me the next time we meet. Perhaps I should take the initiative and strike her first. She'll dodge it anyway.
We already reacted to that in Raiden's video.
I have also heard of Guji Yae's great deeds. In all fairness, I hold her to be an outstanding shrine maiden, and she has performed her duties marvelously. I even heard that she holds responsibility where Yae Publishing House's light novels are concerned. An enigmatic individual, to say the least.
Coco being polite as always.
She's always patting me on the head. I've never bitten her, though, or even said anything, because I'm frightened of how she'd react if I stood up to her. But what am I gonna do? Because if she keeps on patting my head, I'm gonna get stuck at this height forever.
Oh my gosh, does that explain why she doesn't like when Ito pats her head?
Come to think of it, Lady Guji's publishing house also publishes murder mysteries, right? So when can you introduce me? In this day and age, becoming a famous detective requires more than just ability. You need publicity too. Huh? Come on, I'm being serious here.
What the heck? What?
Lady Miko? What about her? Every time Miss Kamisato sends me out to deliver messages, my least favorite destination is the Grand Narukami Shrine. Oh, not because Lady Miko scares the bejeebers out of me. It's, respect. Yes, she strikes respect deep into my heart.
Bro, you throw a spear at the Raiden Shogun in her face. You're scared of Yae Miko?
The clothes that the shrine maidens wear are quite unique.
I heard that after the Sakoku decree is lifted, Yae Miko plans to run a rental service where people can try on shrine maiden outfits as a tourist attraction in various places. Combined with the latest camera technology from Fontaine, it seems like a real Mora maker.
Oh.
The shrine maidens in the Grand Shrine even asked me if I was interested in becoming a model. All I need to do is wear a shrine maiden outfit and smile to the camera. They also asked me if I knew any other cute girls.
What?
I immediately shared this idea with Rosaria. I feel like they can do something similar at the Church of Favonius with the garments they wear.
Wait, I don't think that,
Sadly, Rosaria found the idea of it too troublesome.
Maybe it's for the better.
I can't with these two. These two, I can't.
A smooth-talking yokai. Though she pretends to care about humans to gain the favor of her god, all she seeks are entertaining ways to pass her time.
Ayaka once asked me during a ritual at the shrine if I could prepare some fireworks for the Lady Guji's leisure. I thought to myself, isn't the Lady Guji supposed to sit inside the shrine throughout the ritual? So I watched her the whole time during the ritual, wondering how she'd like to release fireworks. I waited and I waited, and then Ayaka came over at rank to tell me that the Lady Guji was most pleased. I mean, what? She'd already released the fireworks? Was the person sitting inside the shrine not her then?
What? What? Okay, let's go ahead and read the birthday mail. I assume you forgot whose birthday it is today, little one. Yes, that's right. Today we will celebrate the birthday of the almighty Raiden Shogun. Our almighty Shogun meditated for a long time and racked her brains out to think of what to write to you, but she didn't find any inspiration in the end. As Eternity's servant and friend, I am of course obliged to write this letter on her behalf and invite you to see her. Here, take this dessert. When you see her, just wish her happy birthday, nothing more, nothing less. You understand, little one? Okay. And then the second one, what a coincidence. Well, 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 right after yesterday's letter, here's another one from me. Don't worry, there won't be any tomorrow. Come to think of it, are you too sad about it to read this letter, little one? If so, rest assured, it won't make any difference whether you read this letter or not, because I don't put sappy words into a letter. You, little one, are a fun person. It would be much more interesting to see your reactions in person. Right, here are a few sakura blooms that I collected in my spare time. To preserve them for a long time, you might want to make them into a bookmark and put it between the pages of your favorite light novel. How about I personally recommend one to you? Okay then. Trivia. Yae Miko is one of the characters with ornaments that glow. While wearing her default outfit, Miko's instruction, when Yae Miko's elemental burst is ready, the purple gem in her other earring will glow along with her vision. In the Genshin Impact 2020 New Year's tweet, Miko welcomed Kamisato Ayaka to her shrine as the first guest of the year. While the Chinese, Japanese, and French official introductions for Zhongli featured a quote from Raiden A to Yae Miko, the English equivalent tweet left Miko's name out. Okay, Miko is younger than Ganyu. In her debut in the Chinese version of the version 1.5 special program, she refers to Ganyu in a way the term means older sister, but is generally used for any older female, even if they are not blood related. Okay, based on New Chronicles of the Six Kitsune, Miko was a young girl 500 years ago, which is when the cataclysm occurred and the Kitsune Saigu died. In contrast, Ganyu participated in the Archon War over 2,000 years ago, and is also suggested to have lived in the Guili Assembly, which fell 3,700 years ago. Miko is a kitsune from the Hakushin clan and possesses a fox form. In Japanese mythology, kitsune are spiritual fox-like creatures with a reputation for cleverness. Befitting Miko's close ties with the Raiden Shogun, the god of eternity, mythological kitsune are believed to live for thousands of years and symbolize eternity. While Miko calls herself a sky kitsune or tenko, based on her age and number of tails she has, 5, Miko would only be the rank of Kiko in kitsune society, with Ashireko being the lowest and Tenko being the highest according to Japanese folklore. I'm pretty sure, like from what I know of it, like the more tails a kitsune has, the more powerful they are and like the older they are. So she only has been around supposedly for about 500 years, which is long for a human, but I think for kitsune that's not super old. Her having multiple tails, but also being maybe on the younger side of a kitsune is kind of going against like traditional folklore about it. Is that what it's referencing? Yae Miko is inspired by Yae Sakura from Honkai Impact O, another game developed by HOYO-verse, and shares a number of similarities with her. They share physical characteristics such as having long pink hair, purple eyes, and fox ears. The two share the surname Yae. Both are Miko associated with foxes. Yae Sakura is of Japanese origin, while Inazuma is Japanese themed. They are both voiced by Mingya in Chinese and Ayane Sakura in Japanese. While performing her normal uncharged attacks, Miko does not use her equipped catalyst, instead using her Gohei staff. Yae Miko may have studied under the onmyoji Kamuna Harunosuke, who was closely acquainted with Kitsune Saigu. The inventor of onmyu the Chinese and Japanese names of her normal attack contain the term shiki, law, ceremony, or formula, which can mean shikigami, which are onmyodo familiars in the context of mystic arts. Yae Miko is known by these aliases or titles: Guji Yae, Lady Yae, Fox Lady by Akira and Mamoru, Fried Tofu with all the frills, pen name in correspondence with Sangonomiya Kokomi. During the Almighty Arataki Great and Glorious Drum-Along Festival, Yae Miko signs a message with the name Ramen Buddy. Okay, etymology. Yae literally means eightfold, but can also be interpreted as multi-layered or doubled. Miko, godchild, is an archaic form of Miko, or shrine maidens, shaman woman, essentially. As the current chief priest of Inazuma, Yae Miko's mystic arts are based on various Japanese spellcraft and religious traditions. Okay. Spirit Fox Sin Eater perhaps refers to Shikigami, of Onmyodo, which is a divination based on divination, astrology, and astronomy. Yakan evocation, Sesho Sakura, refers to the mantras of En and Eki, which may mean Enno Gyoja. 7th century, the founder of the syncretic religion Shugendo, or the Eki spellbinding magic of that religion. Great secret art Tenko Kenshin refers to the mantras of Vajrayana, Thunderbolt Vehicle, an esoteric tradition of Buddhism. Shrine's sacred shade refers to Himorogi, or a sacred altar in Shinto. Enlightened blessing refers to Norito, or liturgical texts or incantations in Shinto. Yakan offering may or may not refer to Kaodang Soto, Zen schools, one of whose temples, Toyokawa Inari, is a major center of worship for Dakini, identified with Inari in Shinto, who is known for divine fox spirits. Mischievous teasing may refer to a face of 11-faced, Avalokitesvara, a notable higher being in Buddhism who is sometimes associated with Inari and Dakini. Forbidden art Daisesho refers to Jugon, an ancient Taoist-inspired magic school that employed forbidden arts such as Kodoku, or cursing poisons. Okay, interesting. Likewise, her lore makes several references to Japanese legends and literary works about fox spirits. Meditations of a Yako refers to a Zen Buddhist idiom, Yako Zen, and or a tale of the legendary kitsune Hakuzosu. Fox's moon call may refer to Konkai, a play of Kyogen comic theater that features Hakuzosu. The Seven Glamours may refer to a play of Banraku, puppet theater that features the nine-tailed fox Tamamo no Mei. Okay, super cool. Let's go ahead and listen to some of the voice lines and voiceovers now.
I am the Guji of the Grand Narukami Shrine. The purpose of my visit is to monitor your every move, for such is the order of the shrine. Oh, come on, don't be so nervous. It's only officialese, for goodness sake. I couldn't just go gallivanting around for no reason at all, could I? Now, come on, do something amusing for me.
Okay. Interesting.
Traveling to other worlds is all that anyone seems to be writing about these days. Goodness knows what they find so disappointing about their own world.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Most humans could have the entirety of their fleeting lives chronicled in but a few short lines. Their stories really make for terribly dull reading.
Okay, damn.
Personally, I think the idea of things staying the same forever is quite beautiful. But alas, that is simply not the way the world works.
No.
If this rain keeps up, my fur will be dripping wet.
Okay.
Many people dread the sound of thunder. To me, it sounds fondly familiar. I always see these non-sentient kitsune pouncing headfirst into the snow, scavenging for food. You'd like to see me do that? Haha, I'm sure you would.
Yep.
Morning. you look awfully drowsy. Didn't you sleep well? Come on then, what is it? What mischief were you up to last night,
Okay.
Ugh, what a headache. What should I have for lunch? Not fried tofu again. I'm in the mood for something a little lighter today. Oh, I know. I haven't seen the Yashiro Commission girl in a while. Let's get her to make us a little something.
Ayaka?
The moon is simply magnificent tonight. We mustn't squander it. Come, join me for a moonlight stroll. I won't take no for an answer.
All right then.
I suppose I should get some sleep. I must say, I do find it hard to doze off peacefully without the soothing sound of thunder booming in the background.
Okay.
Eternity means never having to let go of what you already have. But on the other hand, it also means giving up on all other possibilities. That's just the way of the world. No one can have everything. Humans are just fascinating creatures. That's why I'm so fond of them. They live such short lives, but for the time they're around, they shine as bright as the midday sun. There are some whose light never grows dim, even over great stretches of time. These are the lives that make for real page-turners. Boring. Utterly boring. Ugh, what could have possibly persuaded these people to become authors? Say, why don't you write out your story and submit it to Yae Publishing House? I'm sure that would keep me amused. I'm sure it would be a bestseller.
We did that, though, in her quest.
Stealing yourself away from the rest of the world may only serve to accelerate the effects of erosion. Imagine a world consisting of you and you alone, with no one else to reflect you back at yourself. How awful that would be. Whenever we are together, it is vital that we always shine a light for each other, okay? It's rather difficult to remain enlightened in the dark.
That was actually very profound.
You're saying you like how I wear my vision? You certainly have an eye for a priceless treasure. Well then, I bet you'd like to pet it.
What?
Heat oil on a medium-high flame in a pot. Add the tofu and reduce the heat to a low flame. Cook until golden brown, take it out, then serve piping hot. There you have it, fried tofu. There's nothing more delicious in this world. Well, I've told you how to make it, have I not? Why are you still standing there? Though I occasionally get a little weary of the sight of it, I can't exactly avoid seeing it at the Grand Narukami Shrine after all. My fate is intimately intertwined with the sacred sakura.
Interesting. Interesting statement there. I wonder if that has any deeper meaning.
Locking herself away in the plane of euthymia when she clearly wants to be out. It's just willful self-torture, really. On the other hand, it's also rather stubborn but cute, don't you think?
No, not cute.
The Yashiro rascal. He's always been an unpredictable one, even as a child. Don't be taken in by his warm smile. There's no knowing what devious scheme might be brewing inside his head. It's really quite maddening. What do you mean, sly as a fox? If you're trying to insinuate that he and I are anything alike, you are sorely mistaken.
Girl, I think you're more alike than you would like to admit.
I'm very fond indeed of the Yashiro Commission girl. She adroitly handles every matter that comes before her. Unfortunately, it's often thankless work. Pity. Were she not a member of the Kamisato clan, I would have long since snatched her up for the Yae Publishing House.
Okay, everyone likes Ayaka. It's not surprising.
Not the sharpest Tengu in the forest. She certainly didn't inherit the brilliant mind of Daddy Tengu, that's for sure.
The shade!
How shall I put this? I suppose being blunt and dispensing with tact has its own advantages. But I do hope that the next time she visits the shrine, she keeps to herself. I've got better things to do than answer her incessant questions about A.
She really doesn't like Sarah.
Naganohara fireworks are well worth the wait every year. Word is that she caused quite an uproar among the Tenryo Commission recently by setting off fireworks all over the place. I'm sure the members of the Kujo clan must have turned purple with rage. A pity I couldn't be there to see it for myself.
Okay.
Now that you mention it, it's been a while since I last saw Ganyu.
Oh, what?
Before the Sakoku decree came into effect, the two of us would often meet to discuss bilateral relations between our two nations.
Oh, okay.
I always found her quite reliable. The next time you go to Liyue, take her some more fresh sea Ganoderma for me.
Wow, that's cool. I didn't know that she knew Ganyu.
These divine priestesses seem to be getting cuter every generation. I wonder how she looks performing the dance of divine peace. Perhaps even little schools of fish swish around her while she spins. If she's ever looking for a more experienced head shrine maiden to learn from,
So I originally thought that was like super condescending, but now knowing Yae Miko,
as long as she asks me nicely, of course.
I think that it's not so condescending. I think that's just kind of her personality.
I thought it was a disaster waiting to happen at the time, but she insisted that she wasn't going to lift a finger against the object of her own creation. Had I known how things would unfold, I would have simply disposed of it without her knowing. What about now? Well, we're no longer waiting for the disaster to happen, are we? Ah, the oddball Oni. I hear that he's been quite a pain for the Kujo clan. The Tenryo Commission wanted to remove his messages on the bulletin board, claiming that they were harmful to public order. I made quite sure they stayed put. He's an entertaining character. You don't often see Oni like him in
You know,
this
it's
day and
interesting
age.
with how much camaraderie she feels with other yokai. It makes sense that she kind of has that same feeling with Ito a little
He certainly has a beautiful tail. Although, mine's a little softer.
Okay.
Ah, yes, the little ninja child. If there's one thing she can do, it's stay hidden. Kano Nana constantly complains to me about it. Apparently, she now spends so much of her time searching for Sayu that she barely has any time to read anymore. If you ask me, I'd say that Sayu has a secret ally who is helping her hide all the time.
Who is that then?
I've heard a lot about Miyuki's little sister. Quite the character, I'm told. Although she comes from a family of shrine maidens, she's gone her own way in life. Tried her hand at many different trades, studied abroad in Liyue, even ended up joining the Arataki gang. Fascinating girl. Maybe I should have Miyuki introduce me. Yes, that'll work. Miyuki wouldn't dream of refusing my request.
I'm really interested with Kuki.
Oh, you'd like to know more about me? I'm willing to tell, but what will I gain in exchange, It has to be a fair trade. So you tell me all about you, and I'll tell you all about me. Deal?
Deal, I guess.
Kitsune Saigu said that she was going off on a long trip, and she's never been back since. At the time, I wasn't the least bit inclined to take on the burden of managing the Grand Narukami Shrine. So she told me that as Guji, I would be able to eat all the fried tofu I desired. As if that would be a convincing reason. That woman spoke so much nonsense, honestly. She could be so insufferable.
I think that was begrudging fondness from Yae.
I decided to found Yae Publishing House simply because I wished to read more interesting light novels, that's all. But it turns out that seeing frazzled authors scraping the bottom of the barrel in a desperate attempt to get their novels finished is where the real amusement comes from. You wouldn't believe some of the excuses they come up with when they're trying to get a deadline extension. Oh, so much more creative than the novels themselves.
Lamau.
Even supernatural beings eventually pass away, including gods. It's a terrible shame when their tales are lost to time along with them, never to be remembered again. The problem is, only those with first-class writing and composition skills are qualified to commit these stories to paper. If there is no qualified writing talent in the world, we must cultivate it. Yes, homegrown writers are what we need, capable of adequately capturing these stories with the written word.
So this is kind of her way of maintaining eternity, right? Trying to get tales being told, right? I don't know. I think that's really interesting, that bit. Very interesting.
Though I'm an avid reader of novels written by others, I've yet to pick up the pen myself. Writing a novel is quite an undertaking after all. But if there comes a day when you reach the end of your adventure and want somebody to record it, and if I happen to have the time when that day comes, we'll see.
See, this is why she's sus to me, because Venti has said something similar, except instead of a book, he wants to write a song. Zhongli wants to record, or wants us to record shit. It's all the same.
My favorite pastime is reading other people's stories. My second favorite is watching other people squirm. If I could find a way to combine the two... Oh, that would be entertainment in its purest form.
Oh my gosh, this is like verbatim what Ayato said.
Peace and tranquility seems to be all the rage nowadays, but it gets dreadfully boring after a while.
All right then. What a trouble to have.
Have you ever heard of a dish called kitsune udon? It's quite simple, really. Just fried tofu served on top of udon noodles. What do you think? Noodles and fried tofu, that's all. Doesn't it sound heavenly?
No, we are loyal to the oni. Okay, it does not sound good.
Anything that has been pickled is firmly off limits for me. I don't care whether it's Medaka or Kiviak. What sort of person can stand that vile stench? I, for one, am Guji of the Grand Narukami Shrine, and I refuse to defile myself by ingesting such pungent things.
Damn, she really hates pickled things.
My. You really know what appeals to my tastes, don't you? Since you've made it yourself, I guess having a little taste is the least I can do. How should I put this? There's so much room for improvement that the only way is up.
Okay.
Ah, so today is your birthday. Ahem. On your ceremonious reckoning of years, I task my kin with seeing to it that that which you seek you shall surely find, and that that for which your heart longs you shall surely receive. Remain pure of heart and true of spirit, and their protection shall be bestowed on you. There you go. May all go well in your year ahead, and may all your wishes be fulfilled. Are we done?
Wow, well, that was insincere. Okay.
When training to become a shrine maiden, the title of Chokai is granted once one has completed their requisite studies and can correctly chant for ceremonies. This might be very straightforward for humans, but it's the most difficult step for the kitsune. We are only foxes, after all.
Oh, interesting.
The training required to become a Guji's assistant, or sekai, is arduous indeed. You must observe a myriad of harsh restrictions. There is only one way to make it through. Snack at night, and make sure you don't get caught.
Okay.
Attaining the rank of Meikai requires one to decipher the workings of the world, transcend its limitations, and fathom all phenomena within. Usually, any who reach this level are granted a vision and a lifespan far beyond that of the average
It's cool how they
kitsune.
have the different levels of rank. That's kind of cool for the ascension stuff.
Throughout history, only the Guji of the Grand Narukami Shrine has ever held the rank of Jokai. It is an honorary title, not related to the capabilities of the holder. But of course, if I were to declare myself the most powerful Jokai in history, I don't see why there'd be anything wrong with that.
Okay, not to toot your own horn or anything. All right.
Right here, right now. Emerge. Come on out. Show them. I'm always watching. Nothing lasts forever. A sight to behold.
Okay.
Well, what do we have here? Don't tell me that's everything. Go on. Open it up. Show me what's inside.
The shade of that second one.
That's quite enough. Ugh, no more games. Now you've got my attention. My, you're cutting it close. I shall handle this. The fun is over. What a dreadful ending. So much for eternity. Dear me. Is that all?
I like how she scoffs when she
What
gets
a
hit.
nuisance. Whatever would you do without me? All right, amuse me. Well, since you asked so nicely.
Okay, let's go ahead and listen to no extra outfit stuff. Let's go ahead and listen to her teapot dialogue. See what she's got to say.
Oh, well, hello. What brings you to see me today? If there's anything weighing on your mind, you can always talk to me. I'm always happy to listen to other people's problems. Who knows, I might even try to help you come up with a solution. Thank you for your concern, dear, but believe me, I am quite comfortable wherever I go. So, this must be an Adepti abode. Though it's a bit different from what I had imagined, it's still most fascinating. At first glance, the act of containing this vast space inside a tiny little teapot seems strikingly similar to the art of constructing a space from the imagination. But as it turns out, they work on fundamentally different principles.
Okay.
As Guji of the Grand Narukami Shrine, it is my duty to seek out and master all forms of knowledge and power. Only then am I capable of handling whatever phenomena come our way. Besides, if I can get the hang of this teapot trick, I'll be able to bring an unlimited supply of sake and snacks with me wherever I go.
Okay. Wow.
Regardless, please do look after me while I'm visiting this lovely little teapot of yours.
All right. Next bit of dialogue.
Need someone to talk to, Oh, what's the matter? Are you feeling lonely? Well, as luck would have it, I happen to be in a good mood today. How about I tell you a story from long ago,
Oh, this would be interesting.
Long, long ago, there was a little child who suddenly turned up at the shrine one day. In her arms, she was carrying a little fox on the brink of death. She knelt before Kitsune Saigu and begged her to save her friend. The child said the fox had started appearing frequently in the village ever since she had fed it some fried tofu. But it wasn't long before misfortune struck. Now that the fox had let down its guard, a vicious dog from the village seized the chance to attack, delivering a near-fatal bite. Heartbroken and riddled with guilt, the child decided to bring the injured fox to the shrine for help. Kitsune Saigu granted her request and agreed to nurse the little fox back to health. Worried that the little girl would be lonely without her companion, Kitsune Saigu decided to ask another member of her kin to keep the little girl company for a few days. I was the one she asked. Well, obviously, being the fabulously beautiful fox that I am, it wasn't long before the little girl was crazy about me. Not only would she buy me all sorts of tasty treats to eat, she would pamper me day in and day out. She always wanted me by her side, even when she was sleeping. After 2 days, the little fox had recovered, and I accompanied the girl back to the shrine. Upon our arrival, Kitsune Saigu asked the girl which fox was her favorite, the one she had made friends with originally, or the new one. She hesitantly looked back and forth between me and her old fox friend. But when her own fox trotted up and whimpered to her, she finally set me down. The fox you gave me is very beautiful, Miss Shrine Maiden, but I still love my old friend the most. Finally, the child offered some fried tofu to thank me for accompanying her, then left with her little fox friend.
Wow, a little insight on Kitsune Saigu there.
Wait a moment, child. You're not planning to just leave it at that, are you? Come on, I've told you my story. Now it's your turn. Shouldn't you offer me something in exchange?
Okay, we tell her our story?
I suppose that will do. But could you try to spice it up a bit? Tell it as if it were a bestseller from Yae Publishing House. Now you're talking. All right, I'll wait for you here. Make it quick, though. I can tell you some other stories when you return.
All right, last bit of dialogue from her.
No. Not the answer you were expecting to hear, Oh, the look of stunned surprise on your face. I think it might be my favorite. No, actually I wasn't. Or, to put it another way, seeing your reaction was exactly what I wanted to do. Observing humans' reactions and reading about their lives are what interest me most in this world. In principle, I should remain an outside observer, but you are far too much fun for that. I can't help but tease you from time to time. But of course. If you liken human lives to light novels, everyone has its highlights, but also inevitably has many aspects that are similar to all the others. As an observer, I get to see the similarities all the time, which naturally leaves me desiring to see something more unique. Your story is one that has captivated me. I really do have high hopes for you. Please do your best to live up to them, child.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Don't you worry. You still have a long journey ahead of you. Your story has only just begun. Besides, you'll always have me as your trusty editor, won't you? Whenever you start going off on a misguided tangent, I'll correct you. And if you're ever stuck in a rut, I'll give you a little nudge towards the next chapter. That should certainly help you on your journey, don't you agree?
Interesting.
Good morning. My, by the looks of you, you must have had a very pleasant dream last night. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, with fortune swinging your way, no doubt. You should follow your heart today, and fate might just reward you for it. All right, off to bed now. Youngsters like you should keep early hours. What about me? Oh, I'm staying up to have a drink or two, maybe read a couple of interesting light novels. You weren't seriously thinking of joining me for the whole night, were you?
Okay. Those are these special dialogue
someone rather discerning fitted out this shrine. Nothing looks out of place and everything's spaced out just right. Yes, I have to hand it to you. You can be rather considerate when it counts. Oh?
Okay.
I didn't expect to find my favorite hot springs here. You wouldn't mind it if I took a soak for a while, would you? Soaking in the steaming water is a fine way to cleanse and soothe both your mind and body. Now, if I only had a bottle of sake, that would make it perfect.
Okay. Let's hop into theories and stuff. Okay, so in terms of theories when it comes to Yae Miko, I don't think there are many. Like, I feel like we kind of know. Okay, let me rephrase that. There are a lot of unknown things about her, and that there are a lot of things that I think she knows but still hasn't told us yet. Or maybe doesn't fully understand herself, possibly. But I feel like we do know a lot about her history, right? Like, we have a lot of info about Kitsune Saigu and her life kind of living amongst them as a young girl. It's hard to imagine Yae Miko as a child. But she still has, I imagine she was still very playful. And that kind of has remained in her adult life. But I think it's quite interesting. The ritual she did was so fascinating, and I think there's so much cool lore tidbits that I'm just so glad I played these character quests, because there's lore like that's just so beautiful and lovely and so interesting, and it's not in the main quests. They're not in the main quests, so I'm just really happy that I was able to experience that. I think Miko being a part of the original kitsune of Inazuma, right? The kitsune clan, and that she's a descendant of them is pretty cool, right? Like, there's a lot of history there, and a lot of stories lost to time. But I think her being a direct descendant, her being really close to her being kind of aware of things going on, like, I still think she has a greater awareness of things, because she said that her life is tied inexplicably to the sacred Sakura. And as we know from Raiden's quest, that Sakura tree is instrumental to the current state of Inazuma today, and is a pillar of it ties Inazuma's reality down, right? It pins it down to what we know it today, and her being so tied to that's really important. You know, she's not just its caretaker. She makes it sound like her almost like her life essence is tied to that tree. So I think there might be more to learn about that sometime in the future, maybe in events, or maybe even past, like once we leave Inazuma, maybe we'll come back to Inazuma at some point, and the tree will come back and be super important. So I think that's a touchstone that will be returned to at some point. And Yae Miko being so closely tied to that is interesting. And it didn't happen in this character, in her character quest, but in Raiden's quest, Miko saying that, or at least guiding us through how to travel to A when we left A in the plane and we had to go back to her in order to bring her back out, us traveling through what I think was the abyss. Yae seemed to already have guessed that. Like, she seemed to have, because she said out loud, like, I think I know what this is, but I'm just kind of waiting to confirm it. So her kind of knowing that already is sus. You know what I mean? Her having a lot of knowledge of the ley lines is also something that I think it's like a sign that she might be involved in future main quest plotlines possibly, along with A, because her knowledge of the ley lines is pretty integral, because every step of the way, like every big major plot point that's had to do with our sibling and the abyss has involved the ley lines directly. So her being super knowledgeable about those and understanding them, I don't know, it leads me to believe that she knows a lot. Of course, I'm only making assumptions. I mean, I think she knows a lot, but I don't think like I'm saying she knows more than she's saying. Even after the character quest and like even at full friendship, she doesn't really ever mention the ley lines. So I'm wondering if maybe she'll open up about that in another later down the line, or I'm not sure, but I think she knows more than she lets on. Especially her, like, I'm tied to the tree and we all know that tree is super important. So, and then it kind of defied time and space. So her being tied to something like that is pretty significant. But other than that, I really don't think there's much that I can even try to predict about her, because she's kind of an enigma, right? And I think she likes it that way. But her situation with the tree is interesting. Okay, so my personal thoughts on Yae Miko. This has been quite a journey, because when I originally met Miko, I was like really affronted. I think that's the correct word. I was just like affronted, because I felt like, I mean, I was kind of in line with Lumine. I'm talking about like immersed Nikki, right? Not objectively. Like immersed Nikki, I was kind of in line with Lumine, and Lumine was having a tough time in the beginning of Inazuma. Like, she didn't want to help anybody, and she was in a really tough mental place. So I think her being in that mental place and encountering Yae Miko, who can come off as very dismissive and like she doesn't really care, like super aloof, and not invested in the well-being of the greater good. I mean, she comes off that way. I'm not saying she is like that, but that's how it felt when I first met her. And I think as I've gotten to know more about her through, like, in Raiden's quest and this quest, my opinions definitely changed. And I was saying that she's kind of like an annoying sister or like an annoying cousin. Like, you get along and then you warm up to them, but sometimes she just annoys you. Like, she just says like something that you're just like, why did you have to say that? Why did you have to go there? And of course, I think she's doing it mostly out of just to be contrarian. Like, I don't think she actually has any ill will towards anybody. But I think she's, I think she's even a little more sadistic than Ayato is, you know? Ayato and her have this similar thing where they kind of like to watch people squirm. Like, they both say that in their voice lines. And Miko, they both do it to people who work for them and people who don't work for them. They kind of like doing it to everybody, even their close friends. Like, Miko likes to torment A. Ayato liked to torment Toma a little bit. So I think they're super similar in that sense. But I think Yae Miko even more so because she's immortal and she's been around for a while. It has this like extraness to it that Ayato doesn't have because he is mortal and he hasn't been around for that long. I think if Ayato lived as long as Yae did, he'd probably be in a similar place. But I think because of Yae's lifespan, whenever she talks about like being like mortal stories can get super boring and they can be their lives can be summed up in one sentence, it sounds a little, it scares me a little bit because it's like, oh, that's the kind of thinking that had A like isolate herself and that like nothing current was urgent, you know, all sense of urgency was lost. And that kind of talk coming from Miko, like I'm like, oh, that's not like the way we should be thinking. But I don't think it's definitely not to the extreme that A suffered from. And obviously A is different now. Like she had her whole character development, right? She had her arc bringing her out of that mindset, and she's much more in tune with the way she wants to run things now and in line with her sister's morals and all that. But I think that's what gets me. Like every single time I find myself like genuinely warming up and like feeling fond of Yae Miko, she'll hook a finger and like say something kind of like dismissive or just a little on the mean side, and I just go, why did you have to say that? So I think I genuinely like her. I think objectively speaking, I think she's a great character. I think she adds a lot of charm to Inazuma as a whole, and it's kind of nice that they have, like, you would imagine that like a shrine character would be, you know, a priestess type character would be like super reserved, like kind of like Kokomi, you know. But I think they wanted to have fun with Yae Miko a little bit, and I appreciate that they gave her a lot of personality, and they kind of lined it up with the not stereotypical, but I guess sort of stereotypical like kitsune kind of a situation. This like trickster kind of sly fox kind of a personality, but they made it like believable. They didn't go overboard with it, which I appreciate. They could have definitely gone overboard with like the sly fox thing and made it cheesy rather than, you know, charming. So I definitely think they were on the right side of that line. I really like when she gets sincere though. Like the moments that we did see that she was sincere was when we were getting A back out of the plane she'd put herself in, and when we were helping her with the ceremony at the very end of her character quest. That was really interesting, and seeing Yae Miko a little vulnerable, even when we were talking to Urakusai. I don't know how to pronounce that correctly, but when she was talking to him, you know, we really felt this like fondness come out of her a little bit, and this like slight vulnerability. And then more so during the ceremony, her acknowledging the other yokai and saying, you know, they might be loud and brash, but they're brave and good souls. They deserve this respect. You know, I felt forlorn for her. I felt that she was lonely and yearned for those bygone days, but she also has this quality to her where, and not just in this instance, but I think just in general, she doesn't let herself dwell on in the past. Like, I think she only really lets it serve her, like her memories of the people she was with, her friends, her mentors, her comrades, her colleagues, all those people, the memories of them. I think she only lets it serve her, so she doesn't let it like pain her. The past was a tool of like self-torture, right? But with Yae Miko, either maybe because Yae Miko saw how A was handling it and like decidedly was not going to be that way, or Yae Miko was kind of always like this. We don't really know because we don't know how she was when she was young. Her ability to not let the past weigh her down, like she's very quick to recover from feelings of vulnerability. You know, she picks herself back up really quick, and she covers it up as slightly dismissive and oh well, you know, it's not like that anymore, or that's not the way the world is. You know, that's kind of the things she says to cover it up, or at least push it aside and keep moving forward. But I think it's less so that she doesn't care, and more so she's just trying to keep herself moving forward, because again, as someone who's been around for a long time, you gotta do that. You gotta keep going. Like, even me, who's still very young, but still sometimes every day I'm like, oh my god, if I don't tell myself just to keep moving forward, I'm gonna just like collapse. It's too much. I mean, I'm kind of a drama queen, but you know what I'm saying. Everyone has those moments in life where they're like, god, like it feels like a lot, and that there's no end, and it's all just, everything piles up on you. But imagine living for 500 years. Like, I think her ability to pick herself back up and keep going is an underrated strength that I think might be somewhat overlooked. But I think that she should definitely be recognized for that, because that's definitely a skill. It keeps her sane. It keeps her in the present. It allows her to still address things that need to be addressed, while she does begrudgingly do her duties, and she's not always super interested in what everyone has to say if it doesn't like immediately catch her attention. I think she still is, you know, in a good mindset in order to help if it's genuinely needed, like if there's actually a crisis. So I don't know. I think I just really appreciate that about her, that I didn't see that side of her originally, because she's really good at hiding it. You kind of have to peel the layers back a little bit like an onion. So while I didn't really see all of her when I first met her, and I think I heard her voice lines, and she appeared in a couple other points in the Argon quest and in Raiden's quest, I think I just didn't understand her really, because I was just like, how can she help, but how can she be so dismissive, or how can she just be rude? But I don't think, like, now that I know her and like have a better understanding of her voice lines as well, and I just know her as a character in her entirety, it's not her trying to be rude, or it's not her like being an asshole. I think sometimes she is purposefully coy, or purposefully a little manipulative, but it's no different than Ayato, you know what I mean? It's not harmful, and she's not meaning to like genuinely piss people off. So I think that's the difference, and that's what I didn't understand when I originally met her, and then up till now I didn't really understand that about hers. But now that I do, I really like her, you know? I think she's a fun character. I think she's very similar to Ayato in a couple ways. They're not identical by any means, but they definitely share a lot of the same qualities. They both have this drive, this overarching drive for stability, right? Ayato wants stability for his family, but Yae wants stability for, you know, her duty as Guji, but also I think her companionship with A, and just in general wanting to honor all the lives, like the war and all those yokai that died, and humans too, but the yokai specifically got the limelight in this quest. I think it would be out of character for her to not want stability for Inazuma, stability that these yokai fought so hard to maintain, right? So I think her respect for them and her fondness for them is a good window into her true values, and that she really does want stability, and she wants the people to not suffer. You know, she doesn't want yokai to suffer or the people to suffer. She definitely gets involved when she needs to. Same with Ayato. I think they both have that thing where they like to make people squirm. They get their little small perverse pleasures where they can get it, right? Find comfort when they can. Ayato likes feeding Toma and Ayako weird food. Yae Miko likes to eat tofu. She likes to kind of torture her employees at Yae Publishing House. So I think they're very similar in that sense, but definitely have different personalities in other ways. But yeah, I think now that I see a fuller picture of her, I appreciate her much more. I loved her fighting style. I'm going to be completely honest. I really like catalysts. I really do. But her turrets are fun, and the way her like moveset was super pretty and like super cute. I love pink. Pink is my absolute favorite color, if you couldn't freaking tell. And she's got pink hair. So yeah, I like Miko. I definitely warmed up to her a lot over the course of her playing her quest and learning about her and reading her lore and stuff. So yeah, I like Miko. I do. I've come around to her. Is she my absolute favorite character ever, like Ito? No, she's not. But I still very much appreciate her, and I can say that I do like her. Begrudgingly, like begrudging fondness, because she still says things and I'm just like, why'd you gotta say that, girl? But that's kind of her thing, right? That's her charm. So I really like Miko. I liked the writing in this quest. I thought it was pretty good. I didn't ever get like super pulled out of it. I think it was kind of a slow start, but it was cool that we got the possession thing is interesting. I'm wondering if that maybe will come into play in other nations, or if that's like strictly an Inazuma thing. The ley lines aren't strictly Inazuma, so it might be interesting to see how the ley lines react in other nations, or what all that situation is going to be. This motif of cycles, Yae Miko said something like that, like these yokai die, they have to go back to where they belong, they have to be returned to the cycle. Like, what the fuck does that mean? That's why I think earlier, like when I made my point about her knowing more than she lets on, like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? What are you talking about there, Yae Miko? So returning to the cycle, this idea of passing through the roots or passing on through the ley lines, I'm not sure. Or if they have to be released from the ley lines in order to move on, like, I'm not 100% sure. So I think those are some really interesting questions that I hope we get answers to one day, but I can thank Yae Miko for posing those questions to us. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. If you did, as always, I very much appreciate you spending your time with me. This was a interesting one. We got a lot of questions, actually. Like, now, this is current Nikki talking. This is not past Nikki talking like the rest of the video. But a lot of the themes, like cycles and the ley lines and stuff, is like super relevant. And I mean, after playing, because I've already played, current Nikki has already played through all of Sumeru, and like we're currently in 3.5? Yeah, 3.5. 3.6 is coming. So we're currently in 3.5 and I've played everything up until 3.5. So a lot of this information is like startlingly relevant. Also, a little thing I wanted to say too is watching myself play Ito, like as a certified Ito main now, watching myself like play Ito just was so frustrating because I was like, girl, you're not using any of his charge attacks. Like, I was literally screaming at myself while I was editing because I was so bad at playing him. But anywho, all of my links are down in the description, including my Discord, Twitter, Patreon, all that good stuff. If you want regular updates on videos and schedules, and I'm going to be trying, okay, keyword, trying to start streaming next month. I'm not sure when next month, but my goal is next month. I have a couple other pieces of equipment. I want to grab like an extra screen so I can keep chat in one screen and, you know, other things on my OG screen and just little things like that. So yes, I'm going to try and start streaming next month, but I will keep you updated that in the Discord, and I'll try and tweet about it, but I'm really mostly active on Discord. So next week's video is Ganyu. I'm going to get through Ganyu, Albedo, and Eula. I have a couple hangouts that I actually might postpone till after the Chasm quests because I'm like genuinely so desperate to get into Sumeru, but I'm trying not to rush. So I'm probably not going to postpone the actual character quests because I think there's like lore and stuff in those quests that are relevant for the event watch throughs that I'm going to be posting, where I'll post my reactions to watching major past events. And some of those quests are relevant to those things. But some of the, like, I have a couple of hangouts, like Goro's hangout, Kuki's, Toma's, and Haizo's. I might postpone those so we can kind of keep moving along. I won't like not post them ever, but I think I might either try and do a double upload or maybe just push them back, because I really want to keep us moving forward to the chasm, the past event watch throughs, get through the summer event, and then into Sumeru. So, or this past summer event, I should say, because it's freaking March. But anyway. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.